Hello, beautiful people. Chat, I'm in trouble. Chat, I'm in trouble. Playing the Star Rail mod on Slay the Spire yesterday has made me want to fucking play Star Rail again. I'm cooked, man. I'm so cooked. But like, I know that if I do, it's just gonna be less fun than the Slay the Spire mod. So like, I also don't, but like, I also do, you know? Anyways, I got the fucking light thingy. Um, Hi, chat. Yeah. It's like, I think this is the right position, but this one's a bit too bright, I think. um, hmm. Yeah, I guess we just do this one. No, it kind of looks weird. Hmm. I guess it is what it is. It's because my room as a whole is too dark. That's the problem. But like, I don't have enough plugs to have both my lamp and my like natural light thingy at the same time. It needs to be raised. Yeah, but I can't because like it's just a fucking like yeah. I mean, I guess I could like put a box or something, but then like that would be in the way for sure. That would be in the way for sure. He looks like he's about to drop a crazy monologue. True. Actually, I've got the video essay like intro. Yeah, the video essay intro lighting. Does it not come with a stand? I mean, the stand is this. Like that. You know? Okay. Maybe there's something I could unplug. Right, I've got fan. I don't want to unplug that. PC, I kind of can't unplug that. Speakers, I could unplug actually, because I don't use the speakers when I stream. But maybe that's not a good idea. Okay, wait. I'll try to figure out if there's something I can ditch. No, there isn't. Damn. Okay. I wish my power bar had more fucking slots, man. GG. It is what it is. This is gonna be our lighting today, I guess. That's okay, right? Should we do this instead? Which one? Maybe this one's fine. I don't know. Yeah, it looks a little off for sure. Are you gonna tell us a good night story? Do you want a good night story? Alright, I give up. I'll just put the fucking normal ass lamp. Whatever, man. We'll figure this out another day. This is even fucking yeah, a little, yeah. Alright. It is what it is, man. Any news about Varka? Yeah, actually. We learned that Varka's best team is gonna have is gonna have Colobina, Inefa, and Sucrose in it. Where am I spending my resin today, chat? We have 2 resin to decide. That's how we calculate time here, by the way. We don't count time in minutes, we count time in resins. We have 2 resins until we're capped. Varka triple wields, by the way? How? One in the left hand, one in the right hand, one in the cock? Is that it? Like, what's going on? How do you triple wield? Yes? Okay. Like Zoro? I don't think Zoro uses it with this. I'm pretty sure he uses his mouth. Not... But, like, maybe I am not caught up, to be fair. I am not caught up. Maybe his swordsmanship had an overhaul in the latest arc that I'm not aware of. Maybe. Listen, okay, like, Oda do be pulling out some weird fucking shit sometimes. So who knows? What weapon are you planning to use for Inefa on main if you pull for her? Most likely just gonna be deathmatch. My deathmatch is kind of homeless, actually. Like, nowadays, I don't really use deathmatch on anyone. Because the only characters that I could use deathmatch on generally or also use Jadewing Spear. So my deathmatch is usually just on whoever used to be on Fav, but I stole their Fav for someone else. But maybe we should level some, like, weapon alternatives for Inefa. Right? Because, like, if my deathmatch is used by someone else, I kind of don't have a weapon for her, right? Yeah. So maybe it's time for me to level a shovel. Or rather, maybe I just level a missive wind spear. So I don't have to craft a shovel. Eh. Or do I just put the Fav in the bag? I also have Skyward Spine I can use. I guess it's probably okay on her, right? Like, not great, but it is what it is. Torch? Torch is just worse than Skyward Spine. I don't think I want to level anything. Oh shit, I only have 1 resin left to decide. Ah! Okay, I'm gonna think while I go say hi to Liben. Okay, if Liben offers me more, I'll farm more. If Liben offers me books, I'll farm books. If Liben offers me something else, I'm gonna shoot myself. What the is that back-to-back Geobox? Okay, dude. Whatever, man. Fine. We'll go do artifacts. Because he didn't offer us more or books. Are you watching any early access videos today? I guess we could, yeah. Is Duran on the high ER build? It looks like he is, yeah. Marissa, what are you doing? Ziox early access. Maybe that video is gonna come out next batch. Hey Zaj, what's the new Flynn's combo I'm hearing about? There's no new Flynn's combo, but if you're talking about the new Flynn's rotation, it's not that new, but it's just swapping to Sucrose after Flynn's and before Flynn's instead of just before Flynn's. No. You need Zach Frog for that kinda, yeah. I didn't get any of my Fav procs, so Duran's Burst might be cooked. It might be fine, though. So Luna uploaded early access. Oh. Maybe we'll watch that then. What if I don't open with my Veressa skill here? Because the breakpoints. Nah, that's not faster. If we're talking like also Pog. If we're talking like 6.x, oh sorry. I mean, at the end of the day, Colomina isn't raising the DPS ceiling by that much, right? She's just making like everyone Mauika level. So it's not impossible that they would do some shit like that again. It's very possible they'll release another character that is just better. You know what? Wait. Is my Fragile gonna expire before the patch or after the patch? I'm gonna check that. Would Zabai be the best non-crack carry in AoE because you get more Lunar Crystallizes? You get more Lunar Crystallizes, but Lunar Crystallize isn't AoE. So it's kind of like Hyper Bloom, right? So I don't really think so. 9 days, yeah, it's after the patch. Don't -1. You guys are being very mean right now. Hey, why did she do this, man? It's like when the Wild Hunt enemies go from like their normal state to their down state, they like load in a different enemy basically, so auto-targeting gets lost for like a second. So, yeah. That's very annoying. Always blaming women. Is the auto-targeting system a woman? Alright. Alright. Chat, if this rolls all crit damage, I'm getting Zabai. That's not crit damage. GG. Not getting Zabai. Yeah, okay. You don't even consider her a woman? I'm just not one to assume people's gender. Or concepts' genders. What if it was a proud trans man all along, and you was thinking that he's a woman? It's just incredibly incredibly mean. Hmm. Hmm. Have you thought about that? I don't even know. I don't remember what we're talking about. I'm lost in the bit, man. All right, chat. We gotta go. We gotta go yoink some Liben. Chat, I'm dying of cringe. None of these bios are living up to the banger from yesterday, man. I really love my wife. Chat, I'm taking bets. Do you guys think that when this individual says I really love my wife, they're talking about their actual legally wedded partner, or if they're talking about an anime character? What do you guys think? Wait, let's join them and ask. I don't think they're gonna. Damn. They declined the co-op invite. Please help me fight Lava Dragon. Oh. I guess they don't need help. Fine. Sorry. I'm actually married to the Molani VA. Joke's on you. I think it would be really funny if that's true. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's funnier to like make that shit up or like the idea that that's true. Uh Man, people's bios suck. Wowzers. Like, okay, I think they like Lila actually. Show us your bio. This is my bio. This has been my bio since the day it leaks. Did I see the Columbina chargeback cancel? No, we'll take a look at that later. Right now, we need to figure out whose world we raid, but they need to have a funny or good bio. There's a top 1% Molani. With Stygian Onslaught 3. Yep, that's the average Molani main. Yup. 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 Hmm. No, I think straight up yesterday's bio just completely ruined my ability to do this. Cause I'm always like, sure, this is kind of funny, but how does it stack up against the gacha system is spiritually Israeli? It doesn't come close, man. It doesn't come close. Like I love my wife. Oh yeah, another wife guy, true. Dude, what is it with wife guys and denying co-op invites, huh? How do you know he's a guy? I'm using guy here as like a gender neutral term. It's like when you get one guide in chat. Like that's not women can be one guys too. You know? Guy and dude are the most gender neutral terms ever. I mean, it's all context dependent, right? Like, if I say I got one guide, you wouldn't think that, oh, like the person that Zajef is referring to has to be a man. But if I say my guy friend, like, yeah. Like, yeah. All right, whatever, chat. I give up. Any of you have a box that doesn't suck? Damn, already at the box too. Holy goated. Thank you very much. Check their bio. What do their bios say? Balling. C2 Mauika. I am not alone. I am not alone. Holy. What are Kenichi's chances of being meta by a future support? I don't think they're like that low. My new friend? He's talking about Kaya. Sorry, Toma. Kaya's not your friend. Kaya's no one's friend. He's a cunning and deceitful snake. Alright, surely this box isn't bad, right? Surely I'm not getting fucking weapon materials on both accounts today, right? That kind of sucks too, actually. Be crime, do gay. We're gonna try again, man. No, we can't. Wait, that's actually kind of funny. The lioness doesn't concern herself with floor 12, and it's someone who has the like, what do you call it? What do you call this thing? Like the frame. Thank you. Someone has the avatar frame. Like, that's kind of goated. Colomina's cons don't really change what artifacts you want to go for on her, so that sounds off. What is PL? Is that Polish? I've never heard. I've never seen Polish abbreviated. I've seen Pol, but I've never seen PL. Huh. I guess. Congrats on your glorious ovulation, Victoria. Okay. Cool, I guess. Hmm. Have you seen Arcane? Bad chest. I heckin' love Arcane. Yes, I have. Um. You are a cutie. Well, that's very nice of them. Oh. No characters showcased? Stygian Onslaught not yet attempted? Imaginarium Theater not yet attempted? Wait, they're kind of goated. What the fuck? They're actually kind of goated. What the fuck? Damn. The goated people never accept my co-op invites. Saj. Chat. Bows. Huge, actually. Okay, I give up, man. No one's accepting. Wait. This is a goated bio too, actually. They're not gonna accept either. Saj. I'm vexed. Fuck, man. I'm so vexed. I don't get it. It's a reference to that one House MD parody video. Is it a good box? This is a bad box. Don't tell me what box it is, by the way. I want to gamble. Okay, do accept the co-op invite, though. Thank you. Okay, why are you sending me a UID from a different region right now? Yeah, that's a good box. Okay. Laban box tier list. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? The Mora and Heroes Wits are the best. Talon books are like okay. Weapon ascension materials are like kind of trash, and weapon experience is the worst by far. I'll defend weapon XP because I'm too lazy to mine it. So am I. I haven't like gone to mine things since basically like 1.1. Okay, can I like access my menu? Thank you. Oh, I'm on the wrong account. And I have like 10,000 ores anyways on my main. Yeah, you just have to send the children to the mines, exactly. It's really easy. They yearn for it, okay? Yeah. Obtain all. Add furnishing. And we gotta figure out what the next one is. I believe that on this account, I'm done with the exterior sets. Or maybe I'm not. Yeah, I don't have Dea, so this doesn't do anything. I don't have either of these. I don't have them. I don't have Sarah. Yeah. So I'm done with the exterior sets. And then the interior sets. Don't have these. Don't have these. Don't have these. I do have Sethos, so this is next, I suppose. No. Oh, I needed to go. Yeah, I can't be bothered. Aww. That's a little cringe, actually. Just a tiny little bit cringe. Actually, I should use these things, because these are the ones I get from my expeditions. Alright. Very cool. All for an eighth of a pull. I know, man, but it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. We're getting the anticipated and exciting teapot gameplay today. Don't worry. We'll do more fun things, okay? Today we're gonna look at the creator server videos. Probably. Any plans for UGC since they're adding Tavak characters to it in 6.3? Probably. I still don't know if I'm gonna want to bother learning how to make levels. But I'll probably try some levels if there's some, like, interesting and fun things. Are you doing Teapot but not Traveler's Tales? Because Teapot, you need to do overtime. Traveler's Tales, you can all do at once, right? So I have to do the time-gated stuff over many days. So I can't just procrastinate on it. No? Can you not? Am I an idiot? Whatever. You're capped at 5 per day for Traveler's Tales? Oh. I don't care. I don't care that much. Should we do weeklies? Have we done weeklies this week? We have, but only one. Okay. Um It's like I don't really want to do these. There's still a few bosses I haven't gotten my first time clear for. But, like, I don't want to farm things I'm not going to use, right? So I only want to farm for bosses that are, like, relevant for characters that I'm probably going to level if I get them, right? So, like, characters like Chavars, for example. But I got to figure out which bosses. Okay, so weekly boss materials Genshin. I think the wiki has a chart with it, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it does. Okay, so I already have Bennett leveled, and I don't think I'm leveling the talents of anyone else here. I could consider leveling Razor talents if I get him to C6, but getting him to C6 is unrealistic. I could do Mona and Fischl. So Boreas is a consideration. Okay. I'm not getting these. Not getting these. Not getting these. So the child boss is just dead. Maybe no, because I don't. Even if I got Rosaria, I wouldn't really care about leveling her talents, right? Yeah. I mean, maybe the Leia buffs buff Ganyu or Xiao enough for them to be worth getting, but probably not. Probably not. No. 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 So Aja is also dead. Signora? I could actually level Sarah. Sarah talents are something I could consider, for sure. Because she might end up being used if I get her. It's kind of unlikely, though, because I have Flynn's and Inefa. But maybe so I can split them up. It could be something. I don't know. Or, like, do, like, Sarah, Inefa. I know. Oh, I don't know if that's going to be strong enough without Columbina. And then Flynn's without either Inefa or Columbina would be 2 weeks. Probably not. I don't know. This is, like, a relatively low priority, but I could. No. No. And no. If I get Farazan, maybe I'd level her talents. Wait, why the fuck does Shilonen use this boss? What? Since when? Huh? What? Why? I guess, was there no Notlin boss when she came out? That's crazy, actually. That's so funny. So what if this is actually a reference to the fact that Shilonen is the one who blacksmithed the everlasting Lord of Arcane Wisdom? You know, like, there's no way those scholars, like, actually were in the workshop, like, constructing it physically. Right? Like, they hired someone to do it. They're like, what if Shilon was the subcontractor? Thoughts? Yeah, collaborative effort between Shilonen and Aino. Yeah, so this one's also a maybe, right? So it's like Farazan and Sarah that are kind of maybes. Then these, I'm pretty sure, are no. These, kind of yes, actually. Yeah, okay. So Whale. Whale is probably a yes. And the other ones already have. So I think I'll do Whale and Wolf. For whom? Whale is... most likely for Chevreuse, because I want to get her skill leveled up enough that it heals a good amount, right? I'm not going to crown it, but I do think it's worth leveling. And it lets me use Song of Days Past better if I want to. And then I might get Farina or Molani. But those ones are maybes. Depends on how things go going forward. Okay. So we gotta set it up properly so we can actually get 2 mini bursts on Flynn's on the whale, because 2 mini bursts kills the whale. So we can skip the phase if we do it right. Right, I don't think this phase really allows me for enough time here, yeah. Oh, I think I fucked up. No! Oh, never mind. We're fine. Oh! Huge. Wait, why did I get it after I fucking... Okay, whatever. I'm kind of... Okay. That's kind of... That's kind of embarrassing, actually. That's a little bit embarrassing, actually. But, I mean, I'll take it. Like, even if it costs me dust, that like this is very... I'm happy about that. Ooh, Instructor. That's really nice. Instructor with your main stat. I don't know if I have one of those yet. Okay, so that's Fontaine. What was the other boss? It was the wolf, right? Yeah. I don't think I can kill the wolf in... Well... Maybe I can, actually, if I do this. Okay, let me get my bursts. Oh yeah, wait, I'm supposed to go in someone else's world for the wolf, aren't I? I forgot. Yeah. Thank you for reminding me, actually. Because it... Why? Because it gets affected by world level, and when you're world level 8, you can join people who are world level 9. So there's a few things that are better to farm on someone else's world. You know, with Mawika, this might be the fastest waypoint. Oh, fuck. Okay, not if that shit happens, man. I guess I'll just buff them. Actually, what if they buff me instead? Hmm? Hmm? Thoughts? What if you change your Mawika to Sucrose? Or Chilona, that works too, yeah. Traveler. You can't handle my potions. They're too strong for you. Big. Okay, we got a triple drop. That's nice. I don't know about that. Ooh, and a chunk? And an instructor with ER 3-liner? Wait, what's going on today? What the fuck is this RNG? Thank you very much, by the way. Holy. That's insane. No billet? I mean, I don't care that much about billets. Bro, we've got a fucking gemstone, a chunk, a triple drop. Like, that's fucking insane, actually. Right, let's condense here. It was the R2, or it was quit rate 2? Was it? I didn't even notice. That's good, then. That's so nice. What does my instructor goblet look like right now? It's off bees. Wait. Yeah, that's amazing, actually. Don't care what this one is. Just give me crit rate or ER rolls, please. Thank you very much. One more. Thank you very much. Fuck. One more. Nice. I'll take that. That's pretty fucking good. And now I can go off-piece on something else? Maybe on this circlet? With this? I suppose? That's alright. Yeah. Those are gonna be a lot more common with the new domain? That's true. Maybe we can make a video about that, actually. Alright, chat. Let's go take a look at the creator server videos. We can start with Saluna's. Wow. VOD audio alert. Yes, thank you. Sound settings. Default. Y'all.
This is the creator server. Keep in mind that, exact numbers and, minor things potentially might end up being different in the live version of the game. But yes, Columbina is finally here, and there's a lot of things to cover potentially. I think I want to focus on mostly just having fun with this character, right? Like, my fundamental philosophy with Genshin characters is try to find where their kit is unique and how that makes interesting teams built around their specific kit. And oh boy, does Columbina have an interesting kit. I can only walk around in this little area, so let's go teleport out and show you something.
Yeah, from the title says Columbina early access made me love Geo, and he says that she has an interesting kit. I have a feeling this video is about the Lunar Crystallize reaction, not about Columbina.
Hello there. This is actually editing Saluna from the future. I originally wanted this video to be, simple, and okay, it's just easier if I show you. So right there is the section of the video you already watched, and then I wanted to yap about the kit because, I wanted to explain Columbina's kit to you, but, see that big highlighted portion? Yeah, that's me basically yapping for literally an hour straight about Columbina's kit. That that's a lot. I'm gonna
True.
remove most of that and just keep in like some yap about the weapons and her artifacts, and then a couple other minor things, in favor of focusing on all this over here, because this right here, this is all like me testing a bunch of fun teams with her. So anyways, you can skip ahead with the timestamps if you want. I myself am going to watch other creators' videos, and I will link them in the description as a resource for you. I want to just focus on what I am having the most fun with, which is just playing Colombian and different teams. This.
Yo.
Also, it's 5 a.m.
Should we just skip it then? And skip to the... Oh, wait. That seems fun.
Big AoE when you have her burst active, right? I want to see here if the Lunar Crystallize reaction will trigger more in AoE functionally, because like it should be every 3 reactions can trigger the thing, right? And if we're hitting 3 enemies at once that all have Hydra on them, that theoretically means like every single normal attack we do with Noelle theoretically should, you know, trigger the reactions. Let's see. Alright, bam. Bam. And let's just spin to win, I suppose. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on. I think the 11Ks, 12Ks, yeah, the big numbers are definitely Colombina damage. I think it was working. All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is working. As long as the enemy, when the enemies aren't dead and they're actually near me, right? I got my energy sucked away. It's not ideal. Yeah, we are triggering the reaction a whole bunch. Okay. Yeah, it does scale up in AoE. Interesting. Okay.
But like, this is not real AoE scaling, right?
Yeah, you can see the lasers are firing off way more rapidly. Okay. Yeah, you can see the lasers are firing off way more rapidly. Okay. Yeah, so it does scale in AoE. Or it's not, okay, it's weird. It's not that it scales in AoE, okay?
Okay, yeah, he says that. What's the best Nullcry team to vertical invest into? I don't think it matters that much.
Because...
And I guess it depends on how deep you want to go, right? Because, like, vertical investment can be done in many different ways, right? Like, for example, Nefer's team has the advantage of you being able to get llama cons, which are also good. Inefa teams are a little weird because the cons on Flynn's and Inefa don't work that well together. So I don't think they're the best to invest into.
like the little things that it fires at the enemies are single target damage, but you can trigger more of the reaction in total in AoE, and that will increase the like frequency for how often it triggers functionally. So it scales in AoE in a weird way where it does single target damage, but you get more single target damage in AoE. I don't know, that's a really cool nuance, I would say. And
yeah,
also
it's basically like the way to think about it is it's AoE damage, right? It's not that it like deals. It's not really that it deals more damage in AoE. It's that it's AoE damage, because if you're against one enemy, you will fire the damage onto one enemy. If you're against two enemies, you will fire the damage twice, split between those two enemies. So it's just one per enemy still, right? Like, this is effectively the same as just being an AoE reaction.
As far as like the construct thing for Chiori, Zhongli also has an interesting construct synergy in his kit, and what that is any
actually this is gonna look fucking hilarious in AoE,
that
isn't
are
it?
around his range of his pillar. You can see now you're getting the same like square radius effect that triggers.
Pew,
You
pew,
get
pew, pew.
functionally
Holy
additional geo
shit.
application out of it.
There's
so like
so many
Zhongli is a more
views.
interesting
Holy.
character now, like to build teams around this gimmick. Like I kind of want Zhongli now on my mid account.
Wait, can you trigger Lunar Crystallize from applying Hydro onto
Build
Petrify?
teams around this gimmick.
Because Petrify applies a status effect that looks like a Geo Aura. But I don't know if it's properly treated as a Geo Aura. That says wet. Oh, now it says Lunar Crystallize.
I don't have him.
Wait. Does it?
I never had that.
It said Lunar No, the Lunar Crystallize was probably just the Columbina damage, actually.
Zajef one before. But yeah, anyways, you can see that's a bunch of ticks of all of Zhongli's damage, technically. And it also is more Geo application, more reaction triggers, more damage. And I don't know. Like, I think it's really freaking cool. I think it's really cool that this character enables a completely new way of thinking about and playing Geo units. I don't really care whether or not it enables 1 quadrillion DPS teams. I don't care. I don't need it to do Moika level damage, right? I just want it to be... Are her eyes supposed to be open when her thing is off? Sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah, that does not look normal, actually.
I think the synergy with Columbina and Geo is really cool. It's probably my favorite part about her kit at a baseline. Maybe
I like half agree. I think that the problem is that the damage of it is just way too bad. Like, I agree it doesn't need to be Moika level, but like, it should be enough that full EM Noelle should be better than full defense Noelle if she's triggering that many fucking reactions, right? And it's just not. It's like, even if you're triggering this many of them, it's still better not to focus on your reaction damage. Which I think is really tragic. Like, when you look at the damage that Zhongli gets, he gets more damage from the fact that he has 3 additional resonances on his pillar than he gets from the reaction he triggers. Right? So it's just like... To me, that's a missed opportunity.
Maybe I'll get bored of it eventually, to be clear, right? I don't know. I really like fun, unique aspects to characters' kits, and, you know, Columbine has a lot going on with her, but I think Lunar Crystallize is probably my favorite thing about her. When I get her on my main account, I suspect this will be my favorite team with her, but I'll have to mess around with
No, specifically because no ICD, yeah.
it more. We gotta do something with my boy Flins. I can tell you from testing, Flins' new best team is Inefa, Columbina, Flins, and Sucrose. And that team is very good. Oh yeah, there's a new artifact set that I do have on Durin for Hexeride DPS characters, which gives a bunch of attack percent and then 20% crit rate, even for off-field characters like Durin. The builds I have on these characters are pretty good compared to the other teams I have tried. Probably should start with Durin earlier, but let's see. Do that. And we should get through the shield. There we go. Okay, and then we'll do this. Yep. And now we can do a real rotation. And bam, and burst on you. Do we have enough energy? I might have enough energy to do this. I might have been greeting a little bit. It's a little bit risky to big burst on Flynn sometimes, but I think I can do it. That may be a privilege of his signature weapon, to be honest. But I think I can do it.
Is that C1? That's C1,
Might be,
right?
that may be a privilege
that's not C1.
of his signature weapon, to be honest. Alright, there we go. Nice. You can see, this team does really good damage. I like this team a lot. Is it a little bit more fragile than an Inefa team without a shielder? Yeah. But, like, I don't know. I really enjoy Flins without a shielder because he has, like, 6 seconds of downtime in his C0 kit where you can kind of just focus on dodging the enemy. But also, this team just has a lot of stagger anyways. You can see, like, we barely have to think about things. This team is obviously doing, really well. And Fischl with Hexeride bonus, right, is giving 180 EM with C6 Fischl. She's giving 180 EM to herself and the on-field fielder and 45% attack because we have Overload and Lunar Charge being triggered. And I'm even going to feature it again against the new enemy. Now, this enemy is incredibly tanky. And the way this thing...
This is the first time I see footage of this.
Works. It's going to go into a shield briefly here. Yep, right there.
Oh my god, they're so
far!
It has
a little shield.
Oh god!
Basically, you really want a lunar damage team to handle.
Wait.
This thing.
How much
you
are they
really
hitting?
Want
Holy
a lunar
shit.
damage team to
they don't do any damage.
Thing. I probably should have switched to Flynn sooner than that. But yeah, you can see Flynn's in this team with Columbina's damage at the top. It should be more than enough at fearless difficulty, and it takes a chunk of.
Dude.
The way this thing works is going to go into a shield briefly here. Yep, right there.
It starts at 51, and he's hitting the shield for...
It should be more
like,
than
basically a full
difficulty.
20 seconds. That, oh my. And apparently after 30 seconds, this guy just, like, the shield phase ends, and it wipes your active character.
And it takes a chunk of damage. And then
Dude, that, oh
we just
god.
play normally from here. Brap. Oops, I just went into damage mode by accident. I don't know, whatever. Let's see how it go. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're chilling. Alright, do that. Okay. Yeah.
So, like, it's been half the time, and we're halfway through the HP bar with the shield.
If it seems like we're not doing very much damage based on the HP bar, we're doing a ton of damage.
What's going on, man?
It's just that this thing again is bonkers tanky. And I do think, again, you will get a better score with... Oops, I should stop yapping and actually play. You will get a better score.
Yeah, that's not dire, Ted. That's fearless.
With Neva Sucrose, and if you play well and everything. But I don't know. This is a lower investment. Wait, is it a lower investment team? No, it's not. It's about the same investment, technically, as far as 5 stars. But I don't know. I think there's a non-zero amount of people that, like, might be like, okay, I don't have a Neva currently, and I want to get Columbina for my Flins, but, like, I heard that Anefa is better for Flins than Columbina. But if you got Durin, I think you should, like, most players, not characters, unless you're a character, I don't know. I'm pretty sure most players would be completely happy with this. No, like, again, this is well invested, but that was me yapping brain off gameplay. I had plenty of time to spare, but ultimately this was maybe a little bit too focused on Flint's. I do want to showcase something with Anefa, because the Anefa Columbina combo is very strong. Specifically, I want to showcase with Raiden. And you probably think I mean a C2 Raiden. No, I'm going to use C0 Raiden with Engulfing Lightning, to be clear. Again.
Okay, so Luna, put the Fav in the bag. I'm pretty sure Engulfing Lightning is worse than Fav here.
It's the boss that you just saw with Flynn's, and I'm going to clear with Raiden, Columbina, and Neva, and this is going to be weird, I know. Chevreuse C6 specifically. Now, for what it's worth, I think technically the Columbina and Neva combo is so strong that the best option on this team is probably just using Sucrose.
Yeah, what is bro doing?
The special...
But surprisingly, not by much. That can't be right. I guess it's a breakpoint thing.
Special thing though about this team isn't really the last slot. Like, I played around with different last slot teammates depending on how much damage I
yeah,
wanted
who the
Raiden
fuck
to
let
deal.
him cook,
The
man?
interesting thing with Raiden here though is that Raiden has a kit that refunds energy when you burst on Raiden, right? In Columbina's kit, a lot of her damage potential in a solo Hydra team is functionally suppressed because she has such high energy needs. Well, when you play Raiden...
Wait, chat. Should I actually do calcs on whether Fav is better than Engulfing on Raiden in this team? Because I'm pretty sure it is, but I kind of want to calc it. No. Okay,
Raiden with
sorry.
Columbina, even if she is solo Hydro, her energy needs go down to very low. This means you don't need to use Prototype Amber. In fact, you can use something like, say, Sacrificial Jade. To be clear, building her on this is a little bit awkward because it gives her so much crit. If you have R5, it's even better, of course. But I'm going to show you with R1, and we're going to have Anefa on the new artifact set, and Columbina as well, right? So we're actually double dipping on the new artifact set. So Anefa, this is not on the... If you have R, and we're going to be able to replicate for a while. And Columbina's build is going to be overcapped on crit rate by 2%. Oh well.
Raiden is on Sky, right?
Columbina only has a tiny bit of ER here, right? And I don't even think she actually needs that. I just happen to have it. And then I'll let Raiden's...
Pretty sure Unefa ER is already at 0 without Fav, and Columbina ER is pretty low as well. I think a small difference in Columbina ER requirements is enough, though.
build be a surprise. I need like a tiny bit more.
Okay.
I thought I could do that without leveling Columbina's skill and burst anymore, and I think I could, but it's just like RNG optimization at this point, and that's not fun. And 9, just so she's up to par to everyone else.
Nice targeting. Oh, lol W. Holy 8,000! Holy 11,000! Holy 12,000! $61,000 on the burst. Insane. Like this is why I think 5 is better, because like yo, what's up, Saluda? This is why I think 5 is better than engulfing. Like, you're losing like maybe 90k DPR from going 5. So even if you just need one less ER roll on Columbina, it's probably an upgrade.
Yay, there we go. Got it. I didn't take very long. I tried for way too long to do that with Columbina's talents at level 6. That's with riding on a Serenade DPS-oriented build. I hope you enjoyed that little showcase. I really, really love the synergy.
Was that 2
between
mil lunar charge? No, it was 200k here. 200k, 140k. Was there a 2 million on screen? Yeah, this is not lunar charge damage. This is the % health damage it took from breaking the shield. Have you seen this video?
There
no.
we go.
But I
Got
can
it.
open it.
I didn't
later.
take very long. I tried for way too long to do that with Columbina's talents at level 6. That's with riding on a Serenade DPS-oriented build.
I pressed pause! I hate when YouTube does that. If you press pause before the video loads, it'll start the video when it finishes
Hope
loading.
you enjoyed that little showcase. I really, really love the synergy between Raiden and Columbina. Like, the point of this isn't to make...
Oh, wait, Saluna, actually, can you... Yeah, actually, wait, no. I don't need to ask you. I can just check, probably. We're at 22. Let's go... Let's check when Sawarz is on field. I don't see a Fav proc. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Surely you can proc 5 against that shield, right? Wait. Maybe he's not on 5. That's not 5. Why is she on rightful reward? What is bro doing?
And Columbina. Like, the point of this isn't to make Raiden do the most damage possible, right? The point of this is to use the unique synergy between
Computer server is whack for options. Rip.
Raiden and Columbina, and the fact that Columbina is just doing a bunch of off-field damage. And one thing that's going to wait until my main account is I want to experiment with putting Lauma in the team instead of Chevreuse, for example. And with Lauma, by the way, I don't think Anefa is required here. But
Okay.
the idea there is, right, like, Raiden only needs to take, like, I don't know, 7 seconds. She only needs to take as much time on fielding to be able to refund the...
That's actually kind of an interesting idea. Right? Because, like, Raiden is already a viable Hyperbloom trigger. So you can use Raiden as your Hyperbloom trigger while also using her burst for energy refund. The problem is that she regenerates less energy if she's not built with a lot of ER, right? And you can't, like, you would really want to have her on Fav if she's fully M. Because you kind of need the Fav particles for her energy, especially if she's going to be solo Electro.
The bursts on characters, right? And so my thinking is the gameplay dynamic can be,
Ketane? I don't know if Ketane is enough.
like, burst on Raiden. When you have Lauma and you have Dendro reactions going on the team, you have Hyper Blooms being triggered. But then after you're done bursting on Raiden, you do charge attacks on Columbina with Verdant Dews, right? So it's like a hybrid Electro Charge DPS Columbina and a, like, Dendro main DPS, like, quick swappy team. Anyways, I think there's fun things to experiment around. Now, before we do main DPS Columbina, as a point of reference to compare, I want to show Nefer as well. And the interesting thing here, right, is, like, as I mentioned before, what is happening? There we go. Okay, that took way longer than I would expect it to normally get the burst there. This enemy has the energy refunding mechanic, right?
Oh, it does? That's really nice.
So we have these extra Verdant Dews. funny mechanic, right? But
Only for Lunar? That's fucking hilarious. What is this?
so we have these extra verdant dews, right? Which means we don't have to wait at all for Nefer. Like,
Oh, right, it's ×3. You're right, I forgot.
normally
Okay,
you have to
right,
wait
right,
for
right.
one
Okay,
verdant
okay.
dew. You just
No,
don't have
bro.
to anymore.
Holy shit, I
Which is
forgot.
pretty significant.
Holy
on top
fuck.
of the most notable aspect, which is Lauma making the team do a lot more damage because she makes Columbina do a lot more damage. Like, Nefer herself is not actually doing that much more, like, as far as, like, the damage number you see on screen, right? It really is just, like, Columbina's additional damage. And then the fact that you can output the damage faster and get the hold E from Llama, right? So, anyways, this absolutely brings Nefer team DPS, and she has the same for Flynn's when you play optimally, up to like Moika level. But
Wait, chat, what if we do 27-second rotations on Nefer? Is that something you could do? I don't
ultimately,
know.
enemy context is what matters more. I just did a stupid. I just tapped E on Llama. Oh well.
Nah, buff uptime would be weird.
You'll see the difference of if you do that. We're probably gonna run out of Llama buff is what's gonna happen.
Sack frog? Yeah, actually, this Columbina might enable sack frog to work, but I don't know if it's worth it.
I've done a bad job at picking up the leaf, but anyways, oh my god. Okay, I should have killed it before the shield went up. That's so bad. Columbina doesn't do anywhere near as much for Nefer without Llama, unfortunately. But what about main DPS Columbina versus Nefer? So, I'm going to do main DPS Columbina with and without Llama here. Alright, for the non-Llama team, I'm going to be using Nahida. A lot of people have Nahida. And
main DPS Columbina without Llama. That's gonna
she will be on Deepwood, of course.
Something.
Aino will be on 4-piece Serenade, and Kuki will be on a, Hyper Bloom build. Aino is wanted here, by the way, because extra Hydra application means more Bloom Core generation equals more damage. That's just Yoli Hyper Bloom thing. More Hydra equals good. Columbina's Hydra application is relatively slow, and then also she's a non-cry character. Enabling Ascending Gleam is important if you want the artifact set to give the full crit rate value. And we're going to use my favorite Dorito.
25-20.
With the leaf, but anyways, oh my god. Okay, I should have killed it before the shield went up. That's so bad. Columbina doesn't do anywhere near as much for a Nefer. Hyper. And this one. Okay, do this. I probably should have funneled those particles. Oh well, I guess we'll see.
We go to 2 times speed, so it
I
looks like a good team.
Right, yeah, well, 19k. We're going to 30k on charge attack, and it's enough to kill this in rotation. Like, this would comfortably clear this, in my experience. I would not have a problem. It's a hyper bloom team, right? Like, we didn't even finish doing our charge attacks there. Right, it does good damage. But obviously you saw that Columbina's personal damage itself was not incredible. This is the one context, though, where I think demonstrating what her SIG weapon will do is important. Yep. Alright. Charge attack. You can see, that's a pretty substantial damage upgrade, right? Now, Llama's going to do more than what her signature weapon does, but, you can understand that the SIG weapon's a pretty big upgrade. Alright, now we're going to try Llama. The literal only thing I've done is I swapped out Nahida for Llama. And this is not like the best main DPS Columbina team. I wanted to still show something that's, like, relatively accessible. Alright, and that. Wow, suddenly, it's like she's doing real main DPS numbers. We're doing 130k on each charge attack. Yeah, her damage goes up. So, like, that's what Llama Burst does. Yep.
Yeah, let's see its performance.
Even as you can have plenty competent damage with Proto Ember with this is cool. That would lift this video for in general. Try. Then you got.
Never mind. I wanted to see how it did in Sijian. Aware. Seven plays it in Sijian? Okay, let's watch it. Let's watch Seven's video then. Wait, what's his name on? Oh, it's just 7 please on. Okay. This is strange. Columbina charge cancels. Oh yeah, we also want to look at that. Oh, that's that video. Okay, bad.
I got early access to Columbina, so today we're going to test some of our teams against the upcoming Stygian rotation. I will explain our kit, but also focus on a couple of aspects.
Why do I need to refresh my page for 2 times speed to work, man? I hate you, YouTube.
I got early access to Columbina, so today we're going to test some of our teams against the upcoming Stygian rotation. I will explain our kit, but also focus on a couple of aspects that kind of surprised me. It turns out that Lunar Crystallites, the new reaction that she enables, unlike Lunar Charged, can be absolutely spammed. And I also found out that Columbina has some neat animation cancel that can make her stronger. The big disclaimer, Columbina has some absolutely spammed.
There's actually something I think is really interesting here. Alright? And something I've realized when I thought about it a lot more, I don't think you ever want your Dio character full EM. Because Columbina's buffs and like base stats are so high that it's pretty easy to have her be the primary target, the primary trigger for Lunar Crystallize. And if she's going to be the primary trigger, EM on your Geo characters is only half as effective. And at that point, you're almost always better off building them on their traditional stats. Yeah, unless their traditional stat is EM, right? So like on Idlua, for example. But like, yeah.
That she enables, unlike Lunar Charged, can be absolutely
yeah, because I saw Sack Frag on
Columbina has some
thing, and I was
neat
like,
animation cancel that can make her stronger. The big disclaimer, this video is recorded on the Creator Access server. The content can be subject to change. Check the comment section on release to see if there is any. So, before looking at all that good stuff, I have to at least explain what this character is all about. But fear not, she actually has a very straightforward and simple character is all about. But fear not, she actually has a very straightforward to see if there is any. So, before looking at all that good stuff,
spam, right? There's no there are some normal attacks. I see normal attack numbers. No, that's I know numbers.
Let's explain what this character is all about.
I don't think he's doing normal attacks here. I think it's
but
just.
Fear not, she actually has a very straightforward and simple kit, in my opinion. The first and maybe most important detail we will discuss is that she activates every single lunar reaction. Electrocharged, Bloom, and now Crystallites all convert into their lunar versions, even if she's the only character from Noctri. We also get the usual base damage buff, but cutting off compared to other lunar reaction enablers. This is maxed out at 35,000 HP. Aside from activating these reactions, Columbina can also
she looks so dumb when she's just running. Holy fuck.
Direct reaction damage. Thanks to her skill, she will summon a ring that deals hydro damage every 2 seconds based on her max HP, and collect gravity points. This basically keeps track of which lunar reaction is being triggered.
I mean, we can skip the base
formula, meaning that this skill has a 17-second streak of cooldown, but lasts 25 seconds. Together with the reactions, also direct versions that by some damage bonus has different effects depending on when the special as well. Rotating it to 15. Medial. This makes her burst buff in the overall. She is actually a simple non-fielder because Bloom direct. Here's what I think get tested out. So, Columbina can basically do what Nefer does. You can keep holding the attack button when Verdant Dews are present, and each will deal 3 instances of Lunar Bloom, scaling with her HP and not consuming any stamina. This can generally make for a good on-fielder when paired with Llama and maybe even in some hybrid Lunar team. And on top of that, you can technically dash cancel her charge attack animation. This is not on the same level as Nefer, but you do spend very slightly less time on each, which can decrease your on-field time by anywhere between half a second and a full second to deliver 6 charge attacks. Technically more if you on-field for longer, but I doubt you're doing more than 6-7 of them. And this animation cancels do extend to her other talents. First off, the classic skill into burst is extremely quick on Columbina, as her skill can be interrupted very early. It can also be used to cancel the end animation of a charger attack, same with the be interrupted very early. It can burst is extremely quick on Columbina, as her skill can be interrupted very early. It can also be used to cancel the end animation of a charger attack, same with the burst technically. Further testing might spawn some other gimmicks, but for now I can report that dash cancels can be a damage gain, and that you're definitely never ever doing any sort of jump cancels instead. She has a different from usual speed on this jump, being much slower both going up and coming down, which is honestly a very fitting detail. And since we're talking about this, I also have to report that her sound effects are amazing.
I can already tell she's gonna feel good to do cancels on because of those sound effects.
Columbina is
This is what Nefer's missing, man.
introducing a new reaction. I didn't forget, and I found something interesting here as well. Lunar Crystallites is only happening when Geo and Hydro react with each other. Even in a team that includes Columbina, a different element, together with Geo, will only result in a classic Crystallites and not its lunar counterpart. On the first trigger, 3 moon drifts are created around the target, and triggering the reaction 3 times will make each shoot at the closest target. This is actually pretty cool because these moon drifts count as Geo constructs, meaning they can synergize with Shiori to summon her second doll, or Zhongli to contribute to his resonance damage coming from the pillar. And since they don't count towards the limit of 3 Geo constructs, this might actually create interesting teams for the Geo Archon. I wonder if this is in preparation for a Zhongli buff in the future. But regardless, the damage of this reaction is very similar to Lunar Charged, both in how it's calculated and how crit, elemental mastery, and multiple characters participating in the reaction are accounted for. There is a small difference with a multiplier, but they basically end up doing similar damage, just spread differently with multiple hits. The Geo Resonance is also partially updated to activate when moon drifts are nearby. This is the basic stuff. But now I have to report that the way this reaction triggers is actually a bit weird. Technically, it's once every 3 lunar crystallizes that you get a damage proc. Crystallize, however, has a global internal cooldown of 1 second. So we should wait 3 or more seconds per trigger, but if we go ahead and spam as many Geo attacks as possible, we do in fact have it happen more often. Once every 2 seconds, and even once per second sometime. So I had to dig a bit deeper here, and what really surprised me was testing Lunar Charged. You see, the global Crystallites cooldown makes it so that no matter what you do, you get 1 Crystallites per second, at most. If I have both Hydro and Electro on the enemy, and I use Shironen skill plus normal attack, I get an Electro Crystallites from the skill, and the normal attack doesn't do anything. Zhongli Burst applies a ton of Geo. Reacting with Electro and Hydro should give me 2 Crystallized shards, but again only 1 because of this global cooldown the reaction has. But let's go ahead and try these scenarios with Lunar Crystallites. Well, Shilonen's skill by itself is able to react with both Electro for a Crystallites and Hydro for a Lunar Crystallites. The normal attack right after instead doesn't seem to trigger another reaction, but if I wait a second, it does. Zhongli Burst also triggers both the Electro and Lunar version of the reaction with the same cast. The conclusion trigger another reaction for a Lunar Crystallites. The normal attack right after instead doesn't seem to trigger another reaction, but if I Crystallites, the normal attack right after
it doesn't.
Electro for a Crystallites and Hydro for a Lunar Crystallites. The normal attack
Like, there's no aura on the enemy. How do you expect to trigger a reaction?
right after instead it doesn't seem to trigger another
gore
reaction, but if I wait a second, it does. Zhongli Burst also triggers both the Electro and Lunar version of the reaction with the same cast. The conclusion here is that there is something going on with this reaction. Some sort of cooldown that is however not the normal global cooldown Crystallites has. If I
mean, it just doesn't have cooldown, right?
1 unit of Hydro and I use both Shironen skill and normal without waiting, I erase the entire aura. Meaning that even if the text doesn't pop up, I'm still triggering erase the entire aura. Meaning that even if the text doesn't pop up, I'm still triggering a reaction. There is no way we end up playing an unveiling set on EM crit Ningguang with this, right? Or my conclusion is wrong and it's bugged. That's a possibility, although it kinda makes sense. Lunar Crystallites is simply working like most other reactions and has nothing to do with Crystallites. Something to keep in mind, working like most other possibility, although it kinda makes sense. Or my conclusion is wrong and it's bugged. That's a possibility, although it kinda makes sense. Lunar Crystallites is simply
it is like it just doesn't have it just doesn't have a cooldown. Like that's it. That's all there is to it.
Working like most other reactions and has no
I think he got to the wrong conclusion because Because when he did EN1 immediately without waiting on Chilonen, he didn't have the aura, so he didn't proc the reaction.
Nothing to do with Crystallites.
GG.
Something to keep in mind before the sub-eye releases. Moving on, I want to briefly talk about builds option for Columbina. Keep in mind that I have a full guide planned on a release date, but I still want to give you a good understanding of the character here. So, first off, the talent priority is skill into burst. Then of course the attack talent can be leveled up, but only when used as a non-fielder in Lunar Bloom teams. Because everything is scaling off HP, that means artifacts will focus on energy research, HP, and crit. Elemental mastery can be used, but it's generally the least important stat. Most Lunar teams will require her burst, so energy research needs range from none up to 200 plus, with 150 to 100 being a safe baseline. Lower with strong hydroparticle generation or Favonius. This highly depends on the team. HP has a soft cap at 35,000, after which no extra lunar base multiplier. And as per usual, you never have enough crit, but remember that she has sense with crit rate, and 15% more are from a talent. And as far as artifact sets, she has several options. The new EM set boosts lunar reaction damage by up to 60% when off-field with 2 lunar. With Favonius, I actually had Flint's runs where I was better off going Fav than Signature just for the extra energy to the team. Briefly looking at team compositions instead, of course, Nefer and Flint are getting a big upgrade from Columbina.
You thought I was lying? I still think you're wrong. I still think with Fav you don't do the big burst.
And they were
like you don't do the big burst to replace a mini burst. When you have the energy to do the big burst, you do it, but you never replace a mini burst with a big burst. Because the big burst is just a mini burst, but it takes longer and costs more energy. Like you are on some high quality drugs if you think that you should replace a mini burst with a big burst.
Already strong to begin with. You now have reliable hydro application, good off-field damage and buffs. However, I want to put the focus on the reliable upgrade from Columbina, and they were already strong to begin with, and Flint's the team. Bro was better off going Fav than Signature just for the extra energy.
Oh, is he
team?
Is he saying Fav on Columbina, not on Flins? I see.
Where I was better off going Fav
I don't see any
than
Fav
Signature
here.
just for the extra energy.
And I don't
to the team.
think the weapon he's using is Fav.
Briefly look.
It's kind of hard to
team
tell.
compositions instead.
Oh, okay.
Of course, Nefer and Flint are getting a big upgrade from Columbina, and they were already strong to begin with. You now have reliable hydro application, good off-field damage and buffs. However, I want to put the focus on the fact that Inefa and Lauma are maybe winning more with Columbina than their carries. They're actually doing so much that teams where you just go Inefa or Lama or...
Yeah, Saluna, actually, do you know what time on the timer the boss does the wipe attack if you don't break the shield in time?
Heck, even both will work very fine and still be able to clear most content. As you can see, the Fireblade Shock Trooper is rerunning, and this team can clear Fearless in about a minute, which means they possibly
Let me go get an exact time, thank you.
can clear Dire, but of course, this is a very favorable matchup. Anyway, I'm very excited for this patch. It's going to be absolutely massive, but is there anything else you want to know about Columbina ahead?
Damn, okay. Okay, we're gonna just do this here. You sick aggro? No, we can check that after. So what is that? That's like, I see. It's just a taser team with her. Yeah, it's not great, but okay, we can skip. Okay, no, wait, that's still the first team. 185. Dolphin, Lunar Bloom, 5-star weapons, and teammates. Okay, can we get a middle ground between literally the only 5-star on the team and literally 8 5-stars on the team, please? No. Okay, that's not useful to me. You guys said aggro had one? Okay, let's take a look.
So, looks like I've once again weaseled my way back onto the early access server. Yay! So we do have a bunch of new stuff to check out from the new update, including Columbina. Woohoo! She does look pretty cool, I'll be honest. Now Paimon not now. So I think I, like a lot of other people, have been pretty excited for Columbina. And first off, I just gotta say these animations are actually kind of sick.
Intro and dilly-dallying, yes.
Pretty normal seeming jump, but
We
then,
can skip. There, no dilly-dallying allowed here.
then she does have kaboom.
Nice.
She.
I have to. Okay, whatever.
course,
I
she
give
has
up
a
on the
passive.
2x speed.
Kaboom!
Okay,
Question
what'd
mark.
she do?
This
New
boy is the
artifact
spe-
domain. Inefa Bina wheelchair, Navia lunar crystallize, solo Inefa versus solo Bina support. Building DPS Columbina. Now that's what I want to see. Actually, no. This is just the process of building, isn't it? Actually, let's point and laugh. Fuck! Never mind. I shouldn't have looked. I shouldn't
Attack?
have. Actually, no. Ha! You got that on the creator experience server, and you'll never get artifacts that good on the real server. How does that make you feel? You wasted your good luck on an account that's gonna disappear. How does that make you feel?
Ooh.
Sorry. That listen, I got upset.
Oh wait, you can just hold back? Ooh. Oh wait, you can just hold the charge attack. And then she's basically budget Nefa. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, in her normal, when you have the Verdant Dew from Lunar Bloom, you literally deal dendro damage. Yeah, so she basically becomes a budget Nefa. You fun, skill burst. I was seeing a dendro resistances, fine, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt today. How about that? All right, let's see it. Charge attacks. 37.
But where did the damage go? Did Llama Burst expire? Okay,
Oh,
Bro got Dendro resistance.
Goodness,
Never
oh
mind.
my god,
GG.
he's almost dead after one rotation. For bronze, some Lauma energy react to the Hyper Bloom trigger. Hyper Bloom Lauma. Lauma is pretty necessary here for the Lunar Bloom damage. You want to sell a 5k, do the same, it gets staggered. 22. Okay, not get staggered. 22k. Okay, I mean, I guess the only difference.
Wait, chat. I'll be right back. I'm back, chat.
Her damage is going to be the little EM buff from Inefa's burst. So yeah, I suppose you're mostly just losing out on Inefa's personal damage. Still very respectable considering that's also without Lauma's signature weapon. Okay, so I mean, say we do get rid of Lauma. We try just Columbina on her own with Ino, so we're still getting Ascendant Gleam at least. Let's try that. So now we're not just losing, you know, Inefa's personal damage because Lauma obviously gives a lot of buffs to Lunar Bloom and just Bloom in general. So we're going to lose a lot of of damage from our Hyper Blooms that we trigger as well. Do the same thing. Okay, I know, so we get more Hydro, and then let's see. Oh. Oh. Okay, second rotation is the charm, maybe? Oh, yeah.
Shield phase ends at 124. Okay, so you have like a little bit over 25 seconds. That's rough,
No,
man.
okay.
There are not that many teams that can... 35? It doesn't start from 0. It takes a while to, like, spawn the shield. There are not that many teams that can do a proper second rotation in that time, right? 152 to 120. Yeah, but it... After the shield is gone, it's over for you. Even if it takes a bit longer. Even if it takes 4 more seconds for him to do the attack that kills you, it's already over for you. And is it iframeable? No, right?
Yeah, that is beyond significant. I mean, it makes sense. So, no Inefer is definitely workable, but I think if you wanted to play on-field DPS Columbina, I think Lauma is a big must. But even without Inefer, so it's just a 2-cost team, it was still performing really well. You're just missing out on a little bit of EM and her personal damage. But yeah, I think losing out on Lauma for the Lunar Bloom buffs and the Hyper Bloom buffs is just way too big of a loss. But, you know, I expected that. Just, I knew it'd be bad, but I didn't think it'd be that bad, okay? That was bad. So now, I think that's all the kind of more free-to-play oriented stuff.
I mean, to be fair, that boss has Dendrored, so Llama does more than she usually does, right? But so I don't know. I don't think that was the best target dummy for this, but still, the conclusion isn't wrong.
If I wanted to test. So, I mean, look, first things first, let's get the real team back together, and then we will be giving them signature weapons. I forgot what her signature weapon looks like. This one, yeah, this thing. And you too? Oh, I guess I never took it off. And now you...
I wonder if Ino is even DPS positive in this team. I guess it's for the ER requirements, sure. But Colomina doesn't need to burst every rotation in this team. She just needs to burst every other rotation. When I was doing calcs, I was getting much better results with burst every other rotation, lower ER. Because she doesn't consume all of the Verdant dues you generate. Or, like, she consumes a little bit more than the amount of Verdant dues you generate. It's, like, basically breaking even. And then the extra dues from burst are just going to help make your rotations less awkward. But you're not consuming all of them. What do you mean DPS positive? How does she do negative damage? Stacks that are consumed by Hyperbloom. Like, Llama Burst stacks that are consumed by Hyperbloom do a lot less damage than Llama Burst stacks that are consumed by Lunar Bloom. And Colomina, by default, if you do 6 charge attack and 3 skill hits, right? That's 15 hits from the skill, 18 from the charge attack, right? 33. And Llama has 36 stacks. So anything more than 3 Hyper Bloom is stealing damage from Colomina, basically. It's still... sometimes it can be DPS negative, depending on what sort of build your Electro characters are on. And I think that if your Electro character is Inefa, because you don't want to build her full EM, I think a Hyper Bloom plus a Llama Quill buff on Hyper Bloom might be less damage than the damage you gain from Llama Quill on Columbina. So more Hydro application would literally be a DPS loss.
It's time to finally get you off that and back onto your signature weapon, which I also need to level. Can we just... God, okay. Boing, bong, beep, boing, kaboom, pow, boing, beep, bong, and kaboom. Level 90. Very cool. Oh my god, it does look very pretty. I'll give it that. And I think if we're getting into whale territory with the builds, we should get into whale territory with the combat. I think I'm allowed to show up to Fearless difficulty in Stygian, but I'm not supposed to show any dire, so I guess I gotta unlock that.
Why? Mechanics aren't different in Dire. Why are they not allowed to show Dire? That's so
we'll
dumb.
just plug in some teams, get these done real quick. Boing, boing, kaboom.
Oh yeah.
Not streaming, am I? No. Menacing. Do that again. Boink, kaboom. And boom. Okay. So with that, we can finally unlock Fearless. So C0, R1, DPS Columbina. I'll give it a go. Probably not going to play this very well, but I can try. So what are you gonna do, buddy? Huh? I need to get all my busts eventually. You summon these guys.
Oh, he doesn't know.
I see. I don't
he
do a lot of
know.
damage to them, I fear. Okay, well that doesn't work very well. Well, that's kind of annoying.
Wait. He's still alive. So you can definitely iframe the wipe.
I mean,
Okay.
once I get my bursts, I can kill them, but you know, average Stygian Onslaught, I don't get my bursts for about 20 minutes, so... Maybe this is horrendous, actually. Maybe I changed my mind. Yeah, I think when he's shielding, I should just ignore the little guys and attack him, question mark. Not sure how that makes sense, but I'll give it a go. So I'm just gonna go behind here, ignore the other guys, do my charge attacks, and then try to get my second rotation with my bursts going as quick as possible.
Uh-oh. Ah!
Oh yeah, that's way better. Jesus.
Okay, I'm pretty sure those dash cancels are late enough to be DPS negative. Aggro's not holding Eon Llama. Wait, really?
Trying to get my second rotation with my bursts
That's
going
not
as
good.
quick as possible. Do my charge attacks, and then try to get my second rotation with my bursts going as quick as
Oh yeah, that's not good.
possible.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, that's way better. Jesus.
Minus 100k DPR. Oh, it's way more than 100k. Oh, yeah, you are. Yeah.
Okay, we're doing like 21k charge attack hits without Llama bursts. Let's do with all our bursts. Alright. Oh,
Who do you think is more entertaining to watch? Aggro or Nick? I don't watch streams. Like, at all. I'm not. I'm a YouTube frog. I'm not a Twitch Terry. Are you calling all of us Terry? Yeah, that's your name now.
oh yeah, cheeky 54k times 3, so 150k in her charge attacks. Is he gonna shield up again? I fear he might. Oh my god, he's doing 160k hits. Jesus. Probably can be done a lot better than how I'm playing, but I think I kind of get the gist of it. So with my gameplay at least, signature weapon, it kind of barely clears. I say we make it a bit quicker, shall we? Let's give her like a C2. That tends to be a pretty good stopping point, I feel like, for the small whales. Also, her constellations
I don't
look
care that
really
much
cool.
about-
They're moons instead of stars. Why the...
I don't care about Colin gameplay. Stygian showcases? Bet. Thank you. is the Natlan combat music doing here, man? Oh, it's the Natlan Arena, I guess. Sure. Wait, this Nefer build looks kind of dog shit, actually. Because there's a ×3, so that's 100. That's 50k charge attacks. Okay, never mind. It just wasn't buffed. I'm an idiot. Oh. Nobody tries the Llama Durin comp for some reason. Yeah, I think it just feels wrong for Durin to be shredding resistances for a Hydro carry. But like he is, you know, because she's doing Dendro damage. But okay. Wait. So 48 229. How good is that? On Black Marrow? How good is that? It's like a pretty average, right? Then 62 170 was like pretty bad, actually. Yeah, that's like KQM standard, actually. How did Flames get so much energy on the first rotation? Apparently, the first time you trigger a lunar reaction against this boss, it gives you a fuck ton of energy. Kind of like how the Shock Trooper gives you electro orbs when you break each layer of the shield. They really want to hide Flynn's ER requirements, don't they? Every time there's a Flynn's shill, it gives you energy. It's so funny. Is this boss electro resistant? No. No, the purple is Wild Hunt, not Electro. Is he getting it? No, right? Wait. What? They're so easy to group. What? Wait. 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 Sucrose might be the GOAT, actually. Okay, Molani can probably do this then. As long as you don't get unlucky with the fucking targeting. Okay, Molani probably can't do this. Okay, I mean, we already know that this is gonna go pretty well. Okay. What the fuck? Okay. That's just Columbina and Efa with Aoife Oraron. That's not... I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, this is not a team where you want to do Fav Inefa. That looked like a Fav proc on Inefa. Maybe it was a Fav proc on Columbina, actually. Maybe I'm just blind. Oron is doing nothing. Oron is providing Aoife with whatever they're called. His points. The gay points, yeah. Those. Okay. Nice. Okay, next team. Oh, Hu Tao. No, swapping to Hu Tao here is a DPS loss. They shouldn't be doing that. Against the shield. $60k hits from Hu Tao followed by like 60k hits from Inefa are so funny. Oh. Yeah, so it's like basically the same speed as the Aoife one. Does a double hit from Columbina's passive consume double ore? I don't think it does. But I guess I haven't had that confirmed. Okay, what are we doing here? Yeah, no, okay, whatever. Let's skip this one. Doesn't really matter. This is not what you should be doing here. Okay. All right, I actually want to see some footage. Oh wait, it's not horns. It's like actual crabs. What? What the fuck are they? What the hell is this, man? What the fuck? Huh? Wait, what? Holy shit. What are they doing? Holy. No Molani then? I mean, I think Molani can still do it. Maybe. Because, like, Molani can also get double hits against the crab by default, right? Masquer leur puissance en essayant d'écraser. Yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, God. That looks awful. Holy shit. You can just play Freeze Milani. Wait! Does that mean you can do the Escoffier tech? Wait! Holy! It's time for the Escoffier tech to actually be viable? Huge! Probably not, honestly. It's probably better to get the shred from the energy from the skill. What's that? The whole D from Escoffier can be used to get a bug where Molani's chomp hits twice. Because it considers the Escoffier spawn as its main target. So once the chomp is over, the, like, quote-unquote AoE hit that happens to other targets after you've hit the main target will go to the boss. But because the Escoffier spawn itself isn't actually something you can hit, your main chomp will also go to the boss. So you can get 2 hits from that. Trying Durin, Llama, Sucrose, Columbina without Sucrose doing infused burst, I think it's not viable. Yeah, you kind of need the Sucrose burst if you do Sucrose. You can also just do like 1 or 2 less charge attacks so you can get high drop. Like, when you're out of do, you just do 1 normal attack and you're fine. Okay, bro has been spamming a message for like the past hour saying, "Is it really?" And it's like, buddy, you're replying to something I said an hour ago. Do you think I know what you're fucking talking about? Like, I was ignoring you because I was assuming that you were gonna, like, get the message that, like, maybe it's been an hour. He probably doesn't remember what he said that I'm replying to right now. But, like, now you're actively, like, spamming it multiple times in a few seconds. Like... Anyways. Read the question. Bina, Nefer, Llama, Inefa is a better team than most other non-cry teams. Question, why not? What the fuck does your question mean? You're making a statement with a question mark and then asking why not. What? How am I supposed to understand what you're asking? Anyways. Are we gonna watch Gacha Gamer's video now?
So, I got early access to Columbina, and she's quite ridiculous. And I'm not just talking about her gravity-defying walk. But the thing is, this moon goddess heavily depends on having other not-cry characters in the team, in order to reach some of the best damage in the game, especially when it comes to some supports like Inefa, where both of them can basically lift any unit out of the gutters of the meta. Yeah, even Mizuki now is good at floating around, while enemies get demolished on sight. However, in some special cases, like this Navia comp, she's capable enough just by herself to unlock new potential with the latest lunar crystallized reaction. On the other hand, sometimes however, in some special cases, like this Navia comp, she's capable enough just by herself to unlock new potential with the latest lunar crystallized reaction. On the other hand, sometimes she relies a little too much on having someone like Llama on the team if you want to achieve proper main DPS output with her new Lunar Bloom attacks. Long story short, Columbina's situation is complicated, but in this Constellation Zero showcase video, I'm gonna reveal everything you need to know about this.
Let's just skip
Simply,
to the
the conclusion I have come to is that Columbina is a powerful upgrade for lunar charge teams. Like, I am talking about significant changes here. Previously, Flynn's, Inefa, Aino, and Sucrose was the best team variation, but now, poor Aino gets replaced with Bina, and you can see for yourself without even using Flynn's, already so much damage is caused together with Inefa when we look at lunar charge damage. And for example, in this team, I would say Inefa is better off with the new set, while Columbina uses Serenade set, and then obviously Sky set would be given to Flynn's, and Vivi set for Sucrose. However, when I looked at it closer, it's pretty clear that the core of Columbina and Inefa, or as some are calling it Binefa, this duo has insane power level. For
who's
example,
some?
the last two slots become
Who the fuck is some? Who is calling it Binefa? Actually.
flexible. Like, I could go for Auroran and Mizuki and just do this simple rotation where in the end, Mizuki is just floating around contributing some of the damage, but the big hitters, of course being Binefa, are the ones dealing the majority of damage. Interestingly enough, I could also give both of them the new artifact set, which improves their lunar damage as long as they're off-field. And then I can give Serenade set to Raiden, for example. And she can act as a driver for the team. Yeah, I know, this might sound depressive when you think about it.
Okay, actually,
Raiden
I don't know if Raiden's best set is Serenade here. Because the team-wide 10% lunar reaction bonus from Sky is actually kind of relevant. So maybe having Columbina on Serenade and Raiden on Sky is better just for the 10% for Inefa damage. I'm not actually sure.
Shogun acting as a glorified driver here, but hey, she still usually contributes to around 10% of team's damage and helps maintain Serenade buff. It's not much, but it's honest work. Or how about Hu Tao? Again, an old but beloved character, and now she actually feels quite refreshing with this duo in a team like this. Same goes for Arlecchino, not like she was having that many problems before, but again, the overvapes plus all those lunar charge hits feel super satisfying to pull off. Like, the thing is, in my upcoming Columbina's guide, I'll talk about a lot more of the teams you can essentially wheelchair with this duo, as the theory crafters call it. But at the end of the day, Inefa and Columbina, just by themselves, is now basically one of the strongest archetypes in the game. And you can just throw in any two other characters, provided they don't mess up the lunar charge reactions, and they will function really well. Like, not at the same level as Flynn's or Nefer with Columbina, but you can just use any unit and usually achieving the 100k DPS won't be a problem. Obviously, like 80 to 90% of the damage will be caused by the Lunar Girls, but hey, at least now someone like Ayato can be unbenched. What's not to love about that? But moving over to Lunar Bloom comps, if playing with Lauma and Nefer, you won't notice a moving over to
174k looks high.
Lunar
looks a
Bloom
little
comps,
high.
if playing with Lauma and Nefer, you won't notice a major damage improvement for Nefer, but that's okay because Columbina's Burst's passive now allows Lauma to easily use her hold skill,
Abyss
which
buff?
means Lauma can
Oh.
deal good damage with her skill, and she will also provide enough him stacks that the whole team can utilize, since remember, Columbina's skill will fire off 5 of those Lunar Bloom shots, basically every 6 seconds, and they will consume Lauma stacks to deal much better damage. As for the last slot, it could be Cookie for healing mostly, or it could be Nefa for even higher damage plus shielding, or it could be Sucrose or Nahida for extra EM boosting. Like, the thing is, Columbina's main contributions here are to help with Dew generation, boost Lunar Bloom damage with Burst, and provide her own personal damage, which is quite good. Usually with a free-to-play build, she still ends up contributing at least 500,000 damage, which is nothing to scoff at. And overall, this leads to about 20% team's DPS increase, which is quite significant. However, if you only could choose one for Nefer, then it would definitely be Lauma first because her buffing is a lot more significant than Columbina's. That's pretty much an undeniable fact, unless I missed out on something, but Nefer really wants Lauma in order to achieve her true potential, while Columbina for Lauma and Nefer acts more like a strong upgrade over someone like Aino. Now, moving over to just strictly Lauma and Columbina duo, this is where playing Bina as main DPS is recommended because her own Lunar Bloom damage from the charge attacks is quite strong, and then the skill also unleashes additional 5 hits every 6 seconds or so. But
Her own. Surely. So on the video, the player had the new supporting set on both Columbina and Nefa. Does the artifacts buff scale twice if you have it twice? The new set is not a support set. It's an off-field damage dealer set. It doesn't have a team-wide buff.
after playing for a while, I wouldn't say that carry Columbina is better than Nefer. It's just not on the same level, and I think Hoyo intended for this to be the case since it would be pretty weird if Bina at C0 could outperform C0 Nefer as a main DPS. But for like 99% of the content, main DPS Lunar Bloom Columbina is a very powerful variation you can go for, especially if you also have Nefa who brings her own personal damage into the team, and actually, this comp
Inefa is such a fraud in this team, man. People are so hung up on getting Inefa in, but like she's not really doing much.
of C6 Aino, Nefa, Lauma, and Columbina is quite ridiculous, and I've had a lot of fun using it. But keep in mind, it is so easy to overcap critical rate because Columbina's starting critical rate is at 24.2% after Final Ascension, then 15% more from the passive, then 30% from Sky Set, and then even Lauma gives 10% crit rate for Lunar Blooms.
Why? Because you don't get any of the actual reaction, and you're not gonna have the best uptime on your cloud either. And you don't have any Electro Shred. So, and you're getting a bunch of Hyper Blooms. So unless you're building Inefa EM, the Hyper Blooms don't do that much damage, but if you build Inefa EM, then her personal damage is worse, right? So the amount that you gain from having Inefa instead of just a character like Kuki or Raiden is a lot lower than usual. I have a question. Everyone considers the passive a free 15 crit rate, but isn't it effectively 10 since it takes 10 seconds to trigger and 10 seconds on one stack of uptime? Not really. Usually buffs like these, and I guess technically I haven't tested it, so I'm not certain. But usually buffs like these, if it doesn't say the stack's duration is calculated independently, then getting a new stack refreshes the timer, right? When it doesn't, they go out of their way to say it, right? If you look at Long Night's Oath, right? Each stack's duration is counted independently. When it doesn't say that, usually it means that getting a new stack refreshes your duration. So you'll basically have it permanently. That is a good question, though. It's understandable confusion.
So she can already reach nearly 80% critical rate without any of the artifact stats, which is pretty crazy. And focusing on HP percent and critical damage is like the biggest priority while grabbing a few crit rate rolls along the way. However, you can also create some other interesting team comps with Lauma and Columbina. For example, with Durin, you can go for
What is Inefa doing here?
a Burgeon comp that will work.
Okay, you know what, actually? I don't hate Inefa as much here, because the Electro does weaken the Pyro Aura, which helps you get more Lunar Blooms. So this one I don't hate as much.
Well,
Because Inefa's application rate is more consistently going to happen at the right time.
except you'll need some sustain like healing or shielding. Or this team of Neuvillette is super satisfying to play. And I even found that quick swapping to Columbina and unleashing some of her charge attacks can be a fun way to break out of the monotony. Still, I've been babbling about all these team comps, assuming there's either Inefa or Lauma on the team. What about teams without them? Well, that's the thing. As I said at the start of the video, Columbina shines best in Not Cry comms, especially with one of those two supports. Don't get me wrong though, Flynn's team without Inefa is still powerful enough with something like Fischl and Sucrose or Yehoda. Although in Nefer's case, Lauma is a better choice. However, Columbina still brings enough value as a temporary solution if you still plan to get Lauma later. Outside of Not Cry comps, I mean, you could utilize Columbina with Tenacity Set and Thrilling Tales to boost Skirk's damage, provided Escoffier is also on the team, but like, almost the entire kit will be useless. She will be just dealing some hydro damage and provide buffs from her gear, so nothing too crazy. The silver lining right now would be lunar crystallized teams. Without Zebai, a comp of Navia with supports like Farina and Shilonen can be decent enough, and I am talking about endgame content, which is pretty cool how we can also swap out Navia for Ito, which will feel a little weaker, but hey, it's Ito. You can now mess around with him in a new team archetype. Lastly, you might have noticed I haven't talked about any of the free-to-play variations with Columbina. Well, the truth is, you could go for something like Aoife, Xingqiu, Fischl, or go for another moon sign unit like Aino, Ent, or Yehoda, who can boost lunar damage and enable Ascend and Gleam. As you already saw, it's best to treat Columbina with free-to-play comps the same way as Inefa when she was released back in the day. Except Bina's main purpose is to super power up existing lunar teams, while the rest of the team variations outside of lunar comps can work in a decent way, but it won't be as amazing. At least that's how I felt when testing all of these variations. So what do I think about Columbina? I think that it's pretty clear her main selling point is to power up existing Nodicry teams, and to achieve the highest possible potential, she will rely on other supports such as Inefa.
Yeah. Well, that's a name I haven't seen in years. What the fuck? I didn't know Majestic still made content. What the fuck? Holy. I'm feeling old, man. What the... Yeah, we're gonna watch Slice's video. Sure.
Hey guys, Slice here. So I got the chance to test out Columbina on Genshin's Creator Experience server for 6.3. It's been a really long time since I had the chance to review characters early, so I'm super excited to show you guys what she's got in store. Now, to preface, this video is not intended to be like a professional guide on the character, but I am going to provide you as much knowledge as I can on what she does, how to play, how to build, how to gear, how to team, how to Columbina.
I mean, we can skip the just like default stuff and go to showcases and teams.
Signature weapons.
Okay, so this is
with Sucrose on Thrilling Tales. At the time of recording, I did forget about Wandering Evenstar, which would be a better weapon for Sucrose if you have it, even at R1. Then, how much damage do we lose if Columbina has Favonius instead of her signature? Favonius is a really comfortable weapon for ER needs across the entire team, so is the damage drop off okay? Then what happens if we just don't have Columbina and use C6 Ino instead? How much pain would the team feel? Then what happens if you replace Flint with just some generic Electro DPS or Sub DPS? Do Columbina and Inefa provide enough that it's okay? Finally, what happens if no Inefa? Is the loss to lunar charge damage significant, or is just Columbina good enough? So in these teams, Columbina will be using 4-piece Serenade, Inefa will be using 4-piece Moon, which is the new one. Since Inefa's damage will be a lot more impactful, so Columbina is on.
Isn't Wandering even start dog shit if it's not R5? Nah. TDDS isn't that good with Columbina, because Columbina has personal damage and increases Inefa's damage. So TDDS is just a much lower value weapon on Sucrose in these teams now. Most people use Sac Frag over it, and then if you have Wandering Even Star, it's just a little bit better.
Support duty. But for each of these teams, there may be some slight changes, so refer to the icons on screen for who's using what 4-piece set. Okay, starting off with Premium Team. This is the comp that we can expect the most damage. Columbina leads with skill and burst since her uptime is the longest. Then Inefa sets up, Sucrose swirls, and Flins does his rotation. This team ends up doing about 45% of the boss's HP in one rotation, which is pretty good. Now when we replace Columbina's signature with Fabj and run the same rotation, the damage difference is a little bit noticeable, but not significant. The boss's HP ended up maybe about 40 to 42% down. Since her signature provides stat bonuses to only her own damage, the overall team's DPS does take a hit, but only minorly. Consider this a possibility if you prefer the energy and particles that Fabj provides. Now what happens if you don't have Columbina? So this would be the case with Ino at C6. Ino will be holding 4-piece Serenade so that no team buffs are lost. And Inefa leads the rotation since Ino's uptime is much shorter than Columbina's. This is where we start seeing significant drop-offs on total team damage. I would say that this looks above 25% of the boss's HP, probably between 20 to 30%. Not no team buffs are lost. And Inefa leads the rotation since Ino's uptime is much shorter than Columbina's. This is where we start seeing significant drop-offs on total team damage. I would say that this looks above 25% of the boss
that is a little cooked, huh?
Probably between 20 to 30%. Not only are we losing Columbina's bonuses for the entire team, but also losing her damage. Next up, replacing Flins with a not super dedicated Electro DPS. I've chosen C6 Fischl here, a staple that almost everyone has, and connects Hexarai buffs with Sucrose. In this team, Columbina is now the on-field DPS and uses 4-piece Sky. Inefa still remains on 4-piece Moon, and Fischl is now 4-piece Serenade holder. We fill in time by basic attacking with Columbina, and in one rotation, the damage drop-off is quite significant.
Okay, I mean, we gotta go refresh VV.
Probably looking at about 25 to 26% of the boss HP down. Pretty similar to the comp where we replace Columbina with Ino, meaning the Flynn's Fischl difference is about the same. I did notice that I used an extra skill mid-rotation, which adds a little bit of extra damage. Overall, the difference is only slight since her skill by default has 100% uptime. And finally, replacing Inefa with Fischl. In this rotation, we are swapping 4-piece artifacts once again. Devs, please artifact loadouts. Columbina is now on 4-piece Moon, Fischl is 4-piece Serenade, and Flins is on 4-piece Sky. When we take a look at the boss's HP, we are left with once again about 27 to 30% HP down. Overall, in each of the situations where we replaced Flins, Columbina, or Inefa, the damage fall-off was roughly the same. The least significant loss was
yeah, but like we need to on-field Sucrose a little more in this one. It could have been the drop-off could have been a lot lower in this one.
Was Columbina's signature weapon. Now, what are my takeaways from this? Well, it seems like the trifecta of main DPS plus universal team booster, which is Columbina here, and a specific reaction benefit, which is Inefa, is a well-oiled machine. Replacing each piece with an alternative gives you about an equal loss.
Why does this guy sound like Slice? I don't know. I think it's just a really common intonation and accent.
But my personal takeaway is that replacing our main DPS with something like Fischl didn't lose as much damage as I expected. Sometimes when you replace the main DPS entirely, a huge chunk of the team's damage just disappears. Because the supports
Yeah, this is his cousin, Slash.
there to buff that carry, and now that the carry is gone, there's nothing to support. This means that Columbina plus a Nefa duo is quite a good safety net to have. Then you basically can add whatever electro DPS you like and have a functional Lunar Charge team. Replacing Nefa introduces survivability problems since you no longer have her shield. And replacing Columbina, well, I mean, you're watching a Columbina guide, I would try not to replace her because then she'll be sad. But that aside, you will lose her team buffs and general enhancements to all Lunar reactions, not just Lunar Charged. So as long as you maintain this core, the Will Define has good support. For me, longer need this. So you know. Then what happens when Columbina is signature to see the damage drop off, and I'll showcase Prototype Amber as well. So first, we're going to take a look at Premium Nefer, Llama, Columbina, and Sucrose. Then replace Columbina with Prototype Amber instead of her signature to see the damage drop-offs, but with better sustain on the team. Then what happens when Columbine is entirely replaced with C6? I know. Then removing Llama for Nahida to see how the damage holds up, and lastly, replace Nefer with Nahida and try out DPS Columbina with their charge attacks. Columbina will remain on Silken Serenade so that Nahida and try can hold Sky, Llama can hold 2-piece EM, and Sucrose will hold Deepwood. Starting off with the premium team, tag Boss with Nefer E and then set up Columbina, Sucrose, and Llama in that order. This enables Columbina's gravity to instantly start charging, and Sucrose before Llama so we get the Deepwood shred. With Columbina, Llama is able to burst plus hold skill for a nice 250k nuke, since there's extra dues to go around. Nefer's rotation is completely uninterrupted, getting all 6 charge dash cancels off with zero need for bursting to buy time. After the final gravity damage, this team closes out at around 40 to 42% of the boss HP down, which is pretty good and fairly similar to the Flynn's premium team. Now we will replace Columbina's signature with Prototype Amber and run the same rotation. Columbina's damage is noticeably less, but the overall team damage does not, and run the same with the Flynn's premium team. Now we will replace Columbina's signature with Prototype Amber and run the same rotation. Columbina's damage is noticeably less, but the overall team damage does not suffer too much. With Prototype Amber, we now have consistent sustain per rotation. The boss's HP after everything said and done is still at about 38% down. This will be the staple choice for most of you who don't have access to C1 Llama and want sustain on this comp. Now let's see the impact of removing Columbina and replacing her with Ino. Ino will run 4-piece Serenade, so there's no loss of artifact buffs. Because we no longer have Columbina, we don't have the extra dues for Llama hold skill. So her rotation is back to the standard.
Run the first one? I don't know.
Amber is to replace Columbina's signature. We go grabbing all Columbina's gravity with Nefer E and then set up charging. And Sucrose for burst is we now have consistent less being a signature for responses loss for loss. Damage here does not suffer, so her rotation is back to the standard tap skill plus burst. While Nefer's damage here does not suffer too crazy of a drop, without Columbina's extra damage, the boss's HP ends up at around 28%. Now let's change out Llama for Nahida. We expect to lose quite a bit of damage here, given Llama's Res Shred and extra him damage. We're going to switch around 4-piece sets, having Nahida take Serenade, since her only purpose is for EM transfer. Sucrose remains on Deepwood, and Columbina can now use 4-piece Moon for a little extra damage. When we take a look at the damage though, we are seeing quite a massive drop in damage across the board. Nefer is no longer able to hit above 100k, and Columbina's damage also gets crushed down below 20ks. This team ends the rotation at barely about 25% of the boss's HP. Finally, a bit of on-field Columbina. So we can actually use her charge attacks here, which are basically her version of Nefer's charge attacks. Nefer is instead replaced with Nahida, and we're going to switch around 4-piece sets once again. Columbina takes 4-piece
Nahida's a
Sky
fraud
for
in this
DPS.
team.
Llama is on 2-piece EM, Nahida is on Serenade, and Sucrose is on Deepwood. Nahida and Sucrose can swap their 4-piece sets at any time, by the way, as in Nahida can Deepwood and Sucrose can Serenade if you want. We just want to make sure to have both for Lunar Bloom. In this rotation, we lead first with Nahida's skill, then swap back to her later so that Columbina's gravity can start charging immediately. Llama is able to hold skill for a good 250.
Who do you use instead of Nahida here then? I think you can use Yehuda, but you can use Durin, and you can use a Hyper Bloom character as well. But the thing is, Nahida only buffs Columbina's EM, and Columbina's EM doesn't fucking matter. Because most of her damage doesn't really get increased by it.
DK chunk, and then
Most of her damage is the llama damage.
Columbina has a pretty easy rotation. All I'm doing with her, by the way, is holding my left click with a directional key, and she continuously hops left and spams her Lunar Bloom charge attack. You'll see the dews go down each time, and the damage is quite good. I didn't see a need to dash cancel these, since they didn't save me much time, but maybe down the line, the Theory Crafters may find a cool tech. Finishing the rotation, we actually do pretty solid, closing about 28 to 30% of the boss's HP. Overall, it looks like llama is really important for the Lunar Bloom.
Yeah, that's actually so funny though. Yeah, like Inefa is a lot better. Wait, he didn't show Inefa. Inefa is a lot better than Nahida here, but that's just because the fraud is Nahida here. Like Nahida is an omega fraud here. She's not doing anything. Like, unironically, I think the 20 extra EM from triggering Quicken or Hyperbloom from Dendro Resonance might do more for your team DPS than 250 EM on Columbina. Okay, maybe not, but like, it's close, man. Fuck.
Replacing her in the team with Nahida downgraded the entire team's damage by a massive amount. Even more than replacing Columbina with
Nefer Premium and Columbina DPS seem equal. I mean, they're not that far. I mean, okay. It's kind of hard to tell because they're like pretty far away from each other, but like, yeah, this is at like right below between A and N here, and this is like after the D, so it's like here for the Columbina carry one. But like, yeah, this is what I was saying, okay? Like, the Nograi carries are frauds. Like, they really are. The Nograi carries are frauds. No, it's just Llama's just too fucking powerful. And Columbina also benefits from Sig in Llama teams more than like most carries do.
I know. The main takeaway is as long as you have a llama plus Columbina, the comp works really well. For those wanting to play DPS Columbina, her playstyle is...
Does ping affect Lali's crop application? I learned the CD-CD Mawika combo, but the melt doesn't line up consistently. Actually, yeah, it does. Because you're swapping, right? Your application timing is always going to be the same. But the speed at which you can, or like the amount of time that it takes for you to start your rotation, it'll be a little bit later, right? Because you have swap delay because of Fing. At 250, it should still be doable, but you need to get started a little bit faster.
pretty simple, and her damage is quite good. Throw on 4-piece Sky, enter Signature or Prototype Amber, and she's set. Those of you who do not have C1 Llama or don't anticipate pulling for it, again, the R5 Prototype Amber Columbina performed quite well. The weapon stats fit her, and it makes her a consistent sustain with good burst uptime. Now, one last thing that I want to try for this comp is replacing Nahida with Inefa. You'll notice that with no Nefer...
Sorry for rage baiting you unintentionally, it's fine. Is 4 characters from Nalkai with Columbina work normally or not? Okay, I still don't understand the question. Let's try to figure it out. Are you asking if Columbina needs to have a non-Nodkai character? If that's what you're asking, she doesn't. Like, the Ascendant Gleam bonus needs a non-Nodkai character to work, but the Ascendant Gleam bonus isn't that big. It's nice, but... And, like, it helps bridge the gap, but it's not necessary. It's just a nice little thing.
Means no Seeds of Deceit, which means those Dendro cores are just sitting there. Adding in Inefa introduces a little extra Lunar Charge damage, also adds Hyper Bloom damage from popping those cores, and extra survivability from her shield. Most of the damage in this team is still Dendro damage though, so Sucrose remains on Deepwood, Lalma is still on 2-piece EM, Inefa is on 4-piece Serenade, and Columbina is 4-piece Sky. I tried doing this lineup with Inefa on 4-piece Moon and Llama on 4-piece Serenade, and the damage loss on all of my Bloom damage was pretty significant, leading to a big team DPS loss. Inefa doesn't end up gaining that damage, Dendro damage though.
I zoned out.
So Sucrose remains on Deepwood, Lalma is still on 2-piece EM, Inefa is on 4-piece Serenade, and Columbina is 4-piece Sky. I tried doing this lineup with Inefa on 4-piece Moon and Llama
Okay,
on
yeah.
4-piece Serenade, and the damage loss
Yeah, that makes sense.
on all of my Bloom damage on Inefa is on 4-piece Serenade, and Columbina is
Yeah.
4-piece Sky. I tried doing this lineup with Inefa on 4-piece Moon
I mean, the real tech is Inefa on Instructor, but I don't think the world is ready for that
and
one.
Llama on 4-piece Serenade, and the damage loss on all of my Bloom damage was pretty significant, leading to a big team DPS loss. Inefa doesn't end up gaining that much damage from 4-piece Moon here, because there's only a small fraction that's actually Lunar Charge. The rest is Lunar Bloom and Hyper Bloom. In this comp, Columbina aims for 6 to 7 charge attacks to finish her rotation. I know. I'm sorry. Overall, boss's HP ends up at about 35 to 38% chunked, which is pretty good and a major upgrade over just Lunar Bloom with Nahida. Because this comp has Inefa for survivability, you can also run Columbina's signature for even more damage. Now,
You know, actually, I'm realizing Nahida might actually be a DPS loss to swap into in that team. Because, like, now that I'm thinking about it, without Inefa, you can probably do your setup in a way that allows Llama to be your main trigger for Bloom reactions. Or, sorry, without Nahida. You can probably do your setup in a way that allows Llama to consistently be the trigger for your reactions. And Llama is built full EM, so the Blooms do a good amount of damage. Right? But Nahida applies the Dendro that's going to make Columbina your trigger instead. And Columbina has a lot less EM. Yeah, I guess you do need the set bonus. But, like, I know is probably way better. Right? Nilo instead of Nahida? Nilo should be a lot better. Well, no, because you have Sucrose. So she doesn't give the 100 EM, so she kind of doesn't do that much. And you don't really want to bench Sucrose. Sucrose is kind of the GOAT. I mean, nah, the play is just fucking put the Yehuda in the bag. Do Yehuda Sucrose. 2 animal units, neither of them on VV. That's the... Yo. Honestly, the thing that we're like, the thing that's holding Columbina carry with Llama back right now is that we don't really have a great last slot after Columbina Llama Sucrose, right? Because you need a last slot that doesn't interfere with your reactions and that buffs either Llama's EM or Columbina's crit and that doesn't suck ass like Yehuda, right? Mona's buff isn't that big, though. That's the problem. Especially because Columbina's kind of already capped on crit rate. So the C4 does nothing. The damage percent does nothing. The lunar... Did she have lunar bloom damage? I forgot. She doesn't, right? Like lunar... there was one reaction that's not on the C1. I think it's lunar bloom. Or is bloom, rather. Like bloom and lunar bloom. Would Instructor Zhongli be okay? Maybe, yeah. Maybe it is just an Instructor Zhongli angle. Let's take a look, actually. Oh. I closed my... Okay. So... Alright, I had this team. One on Albedo, so you get the witch bonus as well. But what does the witch bonus do? That's what you gotta realize. Sucrose' witch bonus is dog shit, and Albedo's witch bonus is damage percent, and this team doesn't care about that, right? Alright, so we ditch the Yehuda. Okay, wait, actually... Does Zhongli's Geo application make it so you trigger Lunar Crystallize more than Lunar Bloom? Because if it does, you're cooked. Right? I think it does. His application is faster than Llama's. So you can't use Zhongli. Maybe you do, like, intentional pillar missing Zhongli. Dealing Lunar Bloom damage counts towards it. Does it? Oh. It's not just triggering the reaction? Okay, in that case, you're probably fine. You need 2 Hydro to remove Dendro. That's not the problem. Also, it's to remove Hydro. What I was worried about was that you would trigger Lunar Crystallize more often than Lunar Bloom, which would make the Columbina skill do Lunar Crystallize damage instead of Lunar Bloom. And then she would stop using the Llama Quills. Anyways, we ditch Yehuda. We ditched the buff from Yehuda, which was... Uh... 50 CV and 100 EM to... this. Right? 50 CV is gone from this as well. Isn't Instructor Shilonen better? Shilonen doesn't tread Dendro. So no. He's kind of dog shit here. Is 1.225 right? It's 55. Yeah. But it goes up with Zhongli, obviously. So this goes like this. This is this. This is this. So it's this plus the Lunar Crystallize damage you get. Shouldn't be too much. Yeah, this is probably Instructor Sucrose Serenade Zhongli. Lunar reaction buff? Wait, what's that? What? Yeah, no, that's gotta be fake. Nah, that's gotta be fake. I don't trust that. I don't trust that at all. Wouldn't Albedo be better? The biggest problem with Albedo is that he just doesn't do that much in this team, right? Maybe you go Fav Albedo so you can burst every rotation, but I don't know if that's even worth it. I mean, it's a good team as a whole anyways, right? Like, it doesn't matter that much. When I looked at the Inefa version, yeah. What were my assumptions for Lunar Charge? Yeah, I was assuming a very small amount of Lunar Charge hits, which I think is very reasonable. And a good amount of uptime on the cloud, which I think is also reasonable, probably, right? Yeah. We added the instructor buff. There was already someone else on instructor in the team. What's John Lee doing then? I mean, he's doing shred. Like, that's the main thing he's doing. Like again, right? Like, the problem with this team is the lack of a good last lot, right? Because we can't really fuck with the auras. And we're already using all the characters that buff the things we care about buffing. Right? If we could get a second Sucrose, this team would be insane. Alright, actually let's go back to the team before John Lee's Shred was added, right? And take a look at what would happen to the team DPS if we could actually use a second copy of any of these characters. I mean, we don't need to look at Llama, I guess, but like, just a second Sucrose. The second Sucrose would be on the 5-star set, right? Yeah, and that would just be better. Which is kind of funny. Oh, I guess I need to add this shit here. No, I don't. Kinda, I don't know. I guess the second Zugos is less impactful than the first. Is that 158k? This one was Sig, I think. Yeah, this was Sig Columbina. This is what when I was looking at Sig Columbina versus Flynn's or Nefer for a 3-cost team comparison. Isn't Columbina a small DPS increase to R1 Nefer since all she does is damage and you're getting less buffs than Instructor C6? I know. It's a bit smaller, sure, but it's still relatively significant because Columbina's damage is good. Right, it's not Columbina damage, it's Llama Quills, but still, it's good. And your rotations are so much less awkward when you get Columbina's passive in Nefer teams. But it is a bit less important. That's fair. Is there any guideline on when it's worth bursting on Columbina every rotation and when it's not? Basically, if Columbina is mainly there as a support, you want to burst every rotation. If she's mainly there for her personal damage, you don't care as much, right? Because the buff from her burst is valuable, but the more of the team's damage she's doing, the more you have to sacrifice to get it every rotation. So in teams where her personal contribution is really high, sacrificing ER for burst every rotation may not be worth it. Yeah, so like for Nefer teams, you definitely want to burst every rotation. For Flynn's teams, you definitely want to burst every rotation. Although, yeah. Oh, yeah. But for like Columbina and Nefa teams, it's not as important. And Columbina Llama teams as well. I expect to clear Dire with C0, Nefer, Bina, and Llama team, given how expensive it is. I mean, you'd be able to clear Dire of the current Sigian. You're gonna struggle in Fearless on the next one. That boss is fucked up. Oh boy. Have fun, man. Could Baiju work in the last slot? Baiju works, but he doesn't really do anything. Also, was this... Yeah, okay. Right, because like the support that Baiju gives, right, is gonna be Lunar Bloom damage. To Columbina only. Which is only this part of her damage. Which is only a third of her damage that benefits from it. So it's really not that meaningful. I'm actually kind of hyped for Columbina release. I think it'll be fun. Like I think the day one testing for Columbina is actually going to be a good video. Like it'll be very, very dynamic, I think. It's obviously it's really annoying we don't get Stygian on the patch drop. Columbina wants mainly crit and EM buffs. She only cares about crit buffs in Nefer teams. Or sorry, in Llama teams. Llama is the one that wants EM. Right? Like, let me actually like explain in like the ways in which EM affects these, right? Let's put it on a news sheet here though. So we can take a look at like our stats when buffed here, right? Columbina with Sucrose on the team, with Instructor, with Serenade, right? Columbina ends up at around 750 EM. And Llama at, don't say it, 1700-ish. And let's look at how much one roll of EM does for the damage. So we have EM multiplier. for Columbina. So we have about 40k HP. About, let's just say 477. Oh no, 377 crit multiplier. And then EM multiplier. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. Okay. The total DPR here. That you gain from one EM roll. I guess we can do DPS gain instead. Right? It's about 600. For Llama, this times... how many do we get here? $28. Does that make sense? Yeah. No? Kinda? Should be... It could be 30, actually. Let's just do 28. So... Llama's EM times the crit multiplier times the motion value, which is 370. Is that it's also 377, right? 377.8, right? Or 377.2, something like that. I think. How much is it again? I'll check. Llama. 377.8, yeah. I guess technically this is also times 1.225, right? That doesn't make any sense. I'm an idiot. Yeah, okay. I gave it the wrong motion value. There we go. Okay. And then we have this and this. All right. And as you can see, a point of EM on Llama is worth almost twice as much as a point of EM on Columbina. But that also means that a team-wide point of EM buff is worth basically thrice as much as EM on Columbina. Yeah, Llama is just her, I guess. Does Kuki have to stack attack in the Llama Nefer team? Not really, for the same reason, right? Because giving Kuki attack increases this damage, but it doesn't do shit for this one. The only things that increase this damage, which is the majority of your team's DPS, are Llama's EM, Columbina's crit, and your shred. That's it. That's literally it. It doesn't look at anyone's HP. It doesn't look at your external lunar reaction multipliers. It's only those three stats. Yeah, with Kuki specifically, I think you're better off giving her EM for the Hyperbloom procs. Even if it's not that many Hyperblooms. Which is why Columbina's SIG is so inflated. Yeah, exactly. Because, like, Columbina's SIG is quote-unquote balanced around her kit in general, but because the way, like, the stat that it buffs is pretty much only the stat that gets hyper focused on in the Llama teams, it's, like, disproportionately good in the Lunar Bloom teams compared to the Lunar Charge or the Lunar Crystallized ones. Isn't Ilua Quill motion value higher than Llama? If there was a Geo character with as many lunar hits as Nefer / Columbina, he would be as good as Llama, if not better. I mean, okay, he still doesn't do as much as Llama, but yeah, like, you're kind of right. If you had a way of triggering Lunar Crystallize as often as you trigger Lunar Bloom, Ilua would be very good. But I don't think they're going to do that, because I don't think, design-wise, they're intending for Lunar Crystallize to be a reaction you're attempting to trigger that often for, like, direct damage. Like, it's pretty clear from Llama's design, and from Nefer's design, and from Columbina's design, that the, like, identity they want Lunar Bloom to have is a lot of hits. Whereas it's pretty clear from Zabai, Ilua, and Columbina's design that the identity they want to give Lunar Crystallize is a mix and a balance of lunar hits and non-lunar hits. That's why Ilua consumes some of his stacks when you do geo damage, even if it's basically an irrelevant buff. I don't think we'll ever have a character that applies as much geo as, or that gets as many instances of lunar crystallized damage as we have lunar bloom damage. But there might be characters in the future where you have to, like, find the right balance between not hitting with normal geo too often and hitting with lunar crystallize as much as possible. Like, I could see that for sure. But then again, I don't know if they're going to give Lunar Crystallize support anytime soon. It kind of feels like the archetype is already functional and self-contained. Isn't Noelle a lot of those? Noelle does not have an instance of Lunar Crystallize damage. You trigger the reaction, But the reaction doesn't get buffed by Itlua, so that doesn't matter. But maybe we'll get a character that deals an instance of lunar crystallized damage every time your, whatever they're called, moon tower thingies fire. And then Itlua could pop the fuck off, right? You'd play them with like Itlua, Zhongli, and like Xingqiu or something. To get as much hydro. Oh no, you kind of need Columbina. Do you need Columbina? Maybe. Maybe not, actually. Because you would want as much hydro as possible. Then maybe you don't go Zhongli. Maybe you just go double hydro. But then if they don't have fast Geo themselves, it's kind of going to be pathetic. I don't know. I don't know. No, because Itlua only affects the on-field character, so you wouldn't be able to use an on-fielder that generates your things. Right? Like, you would need this new character that does talent damage when you trigger Luna Crystallize to be the one that's on-field. What do you think Albedo's best team will be with Columbina? I don't know, but I'm intending on playing Mona, Albedo, Zhongli, Columbina. I think it'll be fun. Microwave Noelle. No. The reaction itself doesn't do enough damage to be worth building your whole team around. And Noelle is really bad. Do you feel like they're implementing Lunar Crystallize well? No! Make Itlua's Lunar Crystallize buff smaller, but make it work on the Lunar Crystallize reaction itself. Please. I'm begging you. On my knees. Please. Please. It's not on live yet. You can still change it. Please. I'm begging. Because, like, do you guys want to know how good that would be? We can actually make a calc on how good that would be. For, like, Noelle carry. Carry as in not on EM. I don't know if you care about being on EM. Because I don't think she'd be primary trigger. Yeah, and the team would be like Noelle, Itlua, Columbina, Farina? You want more Hydro apps, so probably Farina, right? Anyways. 191. Spine. Sky. If it worked that way, you would definitely want Itlua on 2-piece, 2-piece. Kitane. Columbina would be probably... This is probably a Sack Jade team, right? No Dragon's Bane, you're not getting your ER requirements. Noelle doesn't generate any energy. You only have one Fav on the team. You're not getting away with Dragon's Bane. Like, you might need ER Sands even with Kitane, honestly. So maybe it's just Fav then. I don't know. Anyways, Columbina would be on the... Actually. Yeah. Yeah, I guess the problem here is whose crit would it look at, right? Would it look at Columbina's crit or would it look at Noelle's crit? I would it just look at the highest one? But it only buffs the active character, so that doesn't really make sense. So let's just say it looks at Noelle's crit. Then we might not want Sack Jade, right? It's probably still Sack Jade. What am I doing, bro? Columbina's set would be Morningstar. This would be Serenade. This would be Fav. Right? And we would do... "30-second rotations, probably? Maybe not. Yeah, rotation length is going to be a little awkward, huh? Maybe do like 35, like double 18-ish. What's Elo's burst cooldown again? Was it 18 or 15? It was 15, okay. And you get like maybe 12 spins. Sure. I mean, let's just look at the Elo damage by itself. So how much EM would he be at? He'd be at Kitane, main stats, Serenade, substats, the EM buff. Is there anything else that he'd get? No, right? Oh yeah, Ascension, thank you. And the two-piece. Right? So one proc would be this. It's 451 plus 160. So it's 611? Right? Yeah. Your crit multiplier, right? Crit value would be 60, 62.2, 20 times 6.6, 30 times 2, 27.6 times 2. Multiplier, this square divided by 8 plus 1. What the fuck you? Okay. So with 12 spins, you'd have like 18 procs per rotation. Which would be 400k DPR. It wouldn't even break the game. Like this wouldn't even be that good. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot the crit from Ilua himself. But still. Like, do you guys think Noelle would be broken if her teams just had 25k more DPS? Like, no, they wouldn't. So I feel like it's just such a waste that they made him work like this. Navia would love that. Yeah. It would be nice for pretty much all the well, for the buy too, but they would just rebalance the buy accordingly, right? Because they're releasing both of them at the same time. I just think it's a shame. Do you claim live in on both accounts? I did. Stall? I guess we should do our stall. That's true. Get it out of the way. We stare. We pound. We zilch. We... No. I was going to say we tithe. But... the E is not at the end. It's like either... Could it be something like this? No, H is not at the end either. Huh. Is this a word? I don't... Dude, what the fuck? Like, if it's something like this, it would have to be E here, because it can't be... E... 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 8! It's 8. Chat is the number that comes after 7. Okay, I don't... Is it not cranes? What are the... Dude, I don't fucking know what bird it is, man. Because this is up top. For sure. Ultra. You up? Stork? Is it the storks? It is. I think it's the stork. Yaks. Omit. Ample. Pesky. Okay. That was not a good... That was not a good mini today, chat. It's okay, we redeem ourselves with a very nice angle here. That's like a... 268. Please. Please don't say an upward arrow. Oh, no. You guys didn't see anything. Oh, you guys can't see anything now. Oh. I know that one. But I needed the fucking title clue. It was High School of the Dead. And yeah, I could not have shown that on stream. Okay. I have no clue what this is, actually. I don't know. Paradise Kiss, yeah. Another... Okay, this is... I don't know, man. This ugly yet beautiful world. Okay. Who the fuck? I don't know, man. Okay. What's his name again? Denji, right? Do I remember the name of this character? I think it was like Isaac. It was. Wait, I'm actually goated. Oh, right. Right. Dude, I'm actually goated. Holy fuck. This is from Cells at Work, I think. That's my fucking... This is Kokomi fan. I don't know the other ones. Yeah. Uma, wait, is this from an... Oh. Right. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm cooked. This kind of looks like the Monster art style. So maybe this is Monster. But I'm not confident. It was Monster. Okay, bet. Yeah, alright, I'll take this. This wasn't too bad, honestly. Alright, chat, help me out. It's not a Baki day. It's never a fucking Baki day. Oh my... It's rated higher than Berserk? Okay. Adventure, drama, fantasy. Not horror, but gore. Solo leveling. Shut the fuck up. Chainsaw Man? I don't... Is that rated higher than 8.6? Yeah, it's also not manga. That's true. Higurashi? That is not higher than 8.6. Attack on Titan? That's manga. Made in Abyss? What's the source material for that? It's not action, actually. Made in Abyss makes a lot of sense, yeah. It's a web manga. That's crazy. Alright. Are we... Oh, fuck. They said Uma. What if this is Uma Musume? Yeah, I don't know. There's fire. Oh. Is this Food Wars? Yeah, that's Food Wars. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, you guys will get to see this one. GG. This kind of looks like the exact same show that was in the Guess the Anime earlier. But I don't remember what it was called. I didn't internalize the name. Ah, whatever. Okay, no, it wasn't. It was this. The Girl Who Cried Fox. What the fuck does crying fox even mean? Oh no, there's a fox over here. He's gonna be like cool and shit. I have no idea. Is that a racing show? Speed Racer. Maybe. No. Overtake. Okay, well, GG. GG. This was a 26k day. That's not too bad. Honestly, saved by remembering that this guy's name was Isaac. Also saved by Kokomi. Oh yeah, I can do the enclosed horse. Oh no. Time to make a fool out of myself yet again. Alright. So okay. So okay, the like minimum we need to enclose it would be like this. Here we need 4. If we add this, we need a bit. We only need 1 more. But this would be the minimum amount, right? And then here we need 3 if we do it here, right? This is like the minimum amount. So we have 3 walls we can use, right? If we use 2 here, all right, we're at 57. If we use 2 here, 1. We would have to use all 3 if we want to go here, actually. No. 1, 2, 3. It goes to 84. So, bottom left is 84 minus 57. And it takes 2. Right? Wait, am I an idiot? No, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. This has to be something that's worth doing, right? So, like, if we do this... Yeah, this is better, so the other one definitely won't matter then. And then... We could do, like... No, we don't have enough walls for this. Right? And we can't gain a wall here. Submit this. We literally have 1 wall left. Why would I submit? Or like, worst case, we can do this for 102. But I feel like we can do better. What am I doing? Most optimal was 103. Was it? Wait. In that case, I got it. No? How did I do it again? This? Alright, that's 103. Definitely can't improve here. This can't be improved either. This can't be improved either. Yeah! Let's go! But it was an easy one. Huge. Not that easy. It's pretty straightforward because the like options are very linear. Like you have very obvious gaps and you just got to choose which gaps are the best ones. We can do the OST duel, sure. Sending this back to the VOD. Bro. Oh. What the fuck is that, bro? No, actually, what the fuck is that? I don't think I've ever heard this one before. It sounds like upbeat. But it doesn't sound People of the Springs. Maybe it's like Chaska? No. Dude, what the fuck is that actually? Doesn't sound French. Maybe it's like Yoimiya? It is Inazuma. Oh, it wasn't a bow character. I'm an idiot. Kuki? Chiori? Wait, I'm cooked, chat. What the fuck? Kirara? I don't think I've ever heard this one before, actually. It's too short. I don't know. Sounds French. Don't know equal Fontaine. That has to be French. The I have no idea. How is this not? How is this not French? France. Where the fuck does this play? What is that? Is that Flower Feather Clan? No. Is it? Or is it the summer event place? Right? No, right? No. Yeah, it is no. That's Master of the Nightwind. What the? Oh, is that where at the Fog Island? I see. Oh, that makes sense. I'm bad though. GG. Please check the emote redeem. No. Okay, chat. I think I'm gonna end stream here. So I have a video to post as usual. If you can find it through YouTube, it helps more with the algorithm. Go watch it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. It's the J account Fearless. It is a banger thumbnail. The video has been posted. Here's a link. Go watch it. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will